Welcome to Midwest Paranormal Presents Paranormal Soup. I'm your host, Jason Bland, and tonight is the last show of 2020 for Paranormal Soup. Yes, the end of 2020 New Year's special. That's what we're doing tonight. We're going to cover the weird tonight, the best of the World Wide Web of weird. Just articles, photos, videos. Some are just articles. Just some of the stories I liked or enjoyed from this year. And I'll let you guys vote on what you think is best out of the category. Some have 4 or 5. Some have only 3 in the category. The categories are going to be best of the weird science, best of ghosts, best of Bigfoot, best of cryptid and other creatures, best of aliens/UFOs, best of weird Florida people because they get their own category, and just best of weird people all together, and we'll judge if they're as weird as the Florida story. That's what we got. And your calls tonight. I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this past year? What was your weirdest moment of 2020? And what do you think is in hold for us in 2021? Everybody's like, oh, I can't wait for 2020 to be over with. Well, is that in hope that things are going to be better in 2021? Well, we are all hoping that, right? Well, what is your hopes? Or what are your fears? This is your night to hang out, talk to us. Let's all commiserate together and hope for a better year. Because this year, we can all agree, sucked. I'm sorry, it sucked. I think one thing everybody agrees on, right? This year sucked. So we'll talk about hopefully what things might not suck this new 2021 coming upon us, or maybe what more things will suck. I don't know, but it's your time to join us in the conversation, and I will be talking to you in the chat room on YouTube and Facebook. For those listening on the radio app, we do go live as a webcast on Facebook and YouTube, and that is where our chat rooms are. So I will be trying to talk to you guys in the chat room as well, but I do want to get your calls later in the show. I will let you guys know when to call in, but we got a lot to get to, so let's go ahead and get rolling right on into it. Welcome to another night of Paranormal Soup. As I said before, I'm your host, Jason Bland. Tonight, no guest. It's just you and me and Jamie and Rob, which I got to add Jamie in. So let's go ahead and talk to her. How you doing tonight, Jamie D?
Doing good. Excited about tonight.
Yep. Last show of 2020 for Paranormal Soup. There'll be more Paranormal Soup in 2021. But this is our last show of the year. And I'd like to, like I said, highlight some of the weird stories we've covered throughout this year. Because if you're new to the show, this is your first time watching, well, we usually have guests. But tonight is an open line show. What it is I want to talk to you. I want you to call in later tonight, and we'll talk. And, maybe, I don't know how long. It's the first time I've done like a best of like this, I think, of this many categories. So I don't know how long it's going to take. And I might start taking phone calls before we finish it. And we'll just take phone calls in between the best of categories. But I want to get your thoughts on them tonight. Of course, we have the regular World Wide Web of Weird. We're going to do what's happened in the last week or so. And Rob Autry from St. Augustine, Florida, is the one who helps run those articles and videos. How you doing tonight, Rob?
Doing good.
Ready to end this year?
Oh yeah,
I want to take it out back like in Office Space and beat it like the fax machine.
Yeah. Fire.
Yeah, that's how I feel about this year.
Yeah,
that's really how I do. Yeah, I think, and that's the thing. I think that's all we can come together is. I think we all can come together on this one thought. Doesn't matter what you think politically. Doesn't matter what you think. You can all guarantee this year sucked. It definitely sucked. But there was definitely a lot of weird, and we had weird this week. So let's go ahead and roll right into the World Wide Web of Weird. Tonight, I thought I'd start out with sometimes I have to, update you on a story we carry. And I think this was last week we talked about this, or might have been 2 weeks ago, about the photo that's been going around saying it's from the Pentagon or it's leaked and it's from a fighter jet. And the one pilot was taking a picture out the window of a UFO, and it looked interesting. It really does. But there might be a debunk on this one. And Batman, that's the debunk. You'll get it in a second. For those listening on the Paranormal Radio app, on the Paranormal Radio Soup network there, we are a webcast. Like I said, you can watch us on Facebook and YouTube, where we do show videos and pictures sometimes. Tonight, like I said, this is an update for something we carried before. From Unexplained Mysteries, and leaked Pentagon UFO is a leaked Pentagon UFO a Batman balloon. The photograph, which emerged earlier this month, was reportedly taken by the backseat weapon systems operator at FA-18 fighter jets, like Goose, using their personal mobile phone somewhere off the East Coast of the United States in 2018. It shows an unidentified silver shield-shaped object that is unlike any known conventional aircraft, labeled unclassified and for official use only. The image was consistent with other leaked reports about an unidentified silver cube-shaped object spotted hovering motionless over the ocean. But is this really an unofficial photograph of the UFO, or is there some other explanation? Keen to get to the bottom of the mystery, amateur sleuths on social media have spent the last 2 weeks analyzing the image and scouring the internet for possible answers. It wasn't long, though, before someone found something that seemed to be identical in shape to the mystery object, a novelty Mylar Batman balloon. You can check out the promotional image of the product below there. We got a picture of it there. You can see a little Batman balloon, the shape. I don't know if Rob can zoom in on that at all. You can find it on the unexplainedmysteries.com. While some remain convinced that it is a balloon, others are not so sure, noting that a small helium balloon wouldn't have been next to impossible to photograph from a fighter jet using a mobile phone at 35,000 feet. I get that, but man, it does look like it. There he is. He's zooming in. So what's the audience saying? UFO or Batman balloon? I mean, somebody had this at a kid's party and it was floating and it was up there. It could have just been hanging as they were turning.
Yeah, it is pretty remarkable to
It looks like you can almost like look at the photograph when you zoom in and almost see that it is the Batman balloon.
Yeah,
I think they got this one.
Yeah,
I know it sounds crazy that this Batman balloon was hovering up, but this, these balloons they go somewhere and sometimes they just keep going up for a while.
Yeah, it looks like you could perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, it looks just like it. I mean, they did
match
that there where they put the example next to it. It really looks like that's what this was. See, I've been very, leak Pentagon, like, I can see them just leaking things they know are going to get debunked later. So people will be like, oh, this UFO thing's nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Moving on, Space
Yeah.
Force members now called Guardians, and this kind of got me interested. I'll tell you why in a second, but this is the new name for the Space Force. Service members of the recently established U.S. Space Force have been given a rather familiar new title. It is my honor on behalf of the President of the United States to announce that the henceforth, the men and women of the United Space Force will be known as Guardians, says Vice President Mike Pence during the first anniversary celebration of the newest branch of the U.S. military. Soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Guardians will be defending our nation for generations to come. Predictably, however, the new title very quickly became a topic of debate and derision on social media, with users noting an obvious similarity to the name of Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. It took a year to come up with a Star Trek logo and a Marvel name. That's basically what they did, you know. Evan James Gunn, director of Guardians of the Galaxy movies, got in on the action by posting a tweet in response to Mike Pence's speech, which read, "Can we sue this dork?" Well, you know, what's weird to me is when I was younger, my late teens, early 20s, I tried to write a lot of science fiction, and my one of my story ideas had this future Space Force. Basically, the name of the soldiers were the Guardians or Guardsmen. And so when I saw that, I'm like, that's really weird. You know, I mean, I always talk. I think I talked about this with Alfonso. I had on the show a few weeks ago about how people writing could be, you know, like the Titan and the Titanic, predicting the future through imagination. I wonder if I was doing that somewhat. I don't know, but I found that interesting.
It's funny, you know, like if we do have space people that can come here, we can call ourselves Guardians or whatever, but in actuality, we're dumb as a stump. If they can get here, we can't get anywhere.
We're screwed.
Yeah,
we're screwed.
We're screwed.
Yeah, we're screwed.
We can call ourselves
that's for sure.
Whatever we want, but it's not going to matter.
Well, aliens are coming here and they're suing the government. This next one here, alien resident claiming to be from Saturn, Saturn, the one with the rings, filed a lawsuit against the U.S. government last week, claiming civil rights violations and discrimination. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and according to a new lawsuit filed against the United States federal government last week, at least one North Texan resident is from Saturn. The suit was filed on Friday, December 18th, by Island resident Rikia Collins in the U.S. District Court of Eastern District of Texas, Sherman Division. It claims that the plaintiff, who is allegedly from the sixth planet of our solar system, is a victim of an employment discrimination violation of Title 7 of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, while also asserting that Collins self-identifies as a Capricornus and the Ra sun god. The suit appears to allege that the plaintiff is being held against their will on Earth by the United States government, and that the federal government has also prevented them from earning gainful employment from July 4th, since July 4th, 1776. They haven't allowed them to get a job since the revolution. Okay. Through the data filing, the United Nations and the United Kingdom also seem to have been listed alongside the United States of America as co-defendants. So he's suing the world. Filed by court clerks as relating to rent, release, or ejectment. Is not exactly clear what the case lawsuit is making, with the plaintiff listed as their own attorney. The suit, it's always that way, right? They're always their own attorney, right? The suit's handwritten plea details copious references to celestial bodies in ancient Hebrew texts, but little explain what the damages the government has inflicted upon the plaintiff. While the premise of the case exists at the intersection of optimistic late 90s and early 2000 science fiction films, Michael, K-Pax, and Contact area lawyers we spoke to about the filing laughed at the notion that this could be taken too seriously. It'll get thrown out of court, of course. But there's one person who really seriously must believe it to go through this.
We live in.
Well, you can self-identify as a unicorn. You can self-identify as an alien from Saturn.
Yeah, that's it. This is the world we live in.
Just be discriminated against.
Yeah.
Come on, woke world. Aliens have rights too and feelings.
Yeah, I guess so.
And discrimination against aliens. I mean, if you go into a job and they say you list your, birth, place of origin, your birth, where you were born, and you say Saturn, yeah, you probably are going to get discriminated at getting a job.
Yeah.
I mean,
We might need a medical release.
I rest my case.
Yes.
Honor.
I'll bring my tools.
All right, let's go into some cryptid stuff here. This one's interesting, and maybe we can file this along because it still falls in this year with our cryptid or Bigfoot, maybe. I don't know. That's the problem. I have a Bigfoot category and a cryptid category. We'll see. A monkey man caught on camera in Singapore. A photograph of an alleged Bigfoot-like creature that was spotted in a forest has been doing the rounds online. Bigfoot legends can be found all across the world, and Singapore, which is said to be home to the elusive Bukit Timah monkey man, is no exception. Believed to wander the forested Bukit Timah region, I'm probably butchering that. This tall bipedal hominid has been sighted several times over the last few years, and now has even been captured on camera. The image, which shows the dark outline of a gorilla-like creature, was taken by Alfie of the Night Raiders, a group that explores locations around Singapore under cover of darkness. This year, one of our equipment specialists, Alfie, followed group for a mission and also to test his paranormal equipment in this particular jungle. Facebook post said during the particular night they witnessed a BTMM, and our special, is that supposed to be the cryptid? Our specialist managed to capture it for a split seconds. He said the BTMM this time is really huge. What is the BTMM? What is it? Oh, the Bukit Timah monkey man. So it's BTMN. Okay, that's what it stands for. BTMM is another type of mystery creature called Bigfoot. Some people say it's a folklore. Some say it's a Jin, evil spirit. But is this really evidence of the known creature? I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, of course, they have to circle it there, but I mean, you do see it. I think there's some shenanigans here. I don't know. Just a feeling. Because I mean, the guy goes.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard to
It's
say.
another blurry picture, but
Just blurry enough, right?
yep,
Just
blurry enough.
enough. I don't like to criticize because we're going to have other stuff on the show tonight that I think is pretty good, but others we could say the same thing, exactly the same thing about what I'm going to show tonight that we've talked about before on the World Wide Web of Weird. I don't know. Could it be something? I don't know. I mean, it definitely looks like you see its head and its arm there. I don't know.
yeah, it's like
Or it could be moss hanging from a tree. Like it could just be our eyes messing with us.
Or it
too.
could be shenanigans. Or it could be just shenanigans. A digicabra. I don't know.
Can I self-identify as a Bigfoot?
Of course.
Right. Endangered species.
An endangered species.
All
I'm tired of people hunting me.
right, let's move on.
Daryl.
All right, we got this one from coast to coast here. This is Australian realtor photographs ghosts. And like I said, we could throw this in our ghost category tonight. And when I do ghost, I only have like 3 things, I think, in ghosts because we did kind of cover the ghosts category on our Halloween show not long ago, but I'm going to recap it and one we missed. But this one's pretty interesting. I don't know. An Australian man was taken aback when he saw a photograph of his late father's home and spotted what just might be the ghost of his dad looking out the kitchen window. Sharing the image on the Facebook group Australian Paranormal, Tyler Thornton explained that when my pop passed away, we had to sell his house in Port Victoria, and that a buyer had recently been found. In a celebration of success sales, his realtor sent his mother a pair of pictures proudly displaying the sold sign in front of the home, and to their astonishment, something rather eerie in the background. In one of the photos, what appears to be is a person can be seen at the kitchen window of the home, although there was nobody inside the residence at the time. Given that the Thornton's father had only recently passed away, this understandably has fueled speculation that perhaps a potential apparition in the window was his dearly departed dad. Adding another intriguing layer to the tale is that, according to Thornton, his father built and lived in the house for 25 years, suggesting that the man has a significant connection with the home. As it is often the case with the possible ghost photos, opinions online regarding the image were largely divided among those who thought that the anomaly is the spirit of Thornton's father, while others who cannot see the oddity in the window and more skeptical observers who offered prosaic explanations for the strange picture. Yeah, we heard them all. Now, it might be hard for people to see. I think I don't know if I put 2 photos or I just put this one in. Me looking at the photo, I can see it. Yeah, here, see if you can zoom in. I mean, I can see the outline of a person. See, you see their neck, hand, their arm out there, like they're wearing like a crew neck shirt.
Color of the shirt right there.
I mean, yeah, it's super blurry,
and
just as much as the Bigfoot.
I'd like to see a picture of the father next to it to see if he kind of stood the same way or not. But I definitely see an outline of a person, it looks like, or a smudge of glare on the window.
Looks like they're doing dishes.
Yeah. Like
just them standing in his window doing dishes.
Yeah.
I had some ghosts around here that would do some housework.
I had a friend that had that.
Yeah.
He said he had an old lady ghost that would actually like put his clothes away and like clean the house.
Dude, how do I hire her?
Right? He was sad when he had to move. I'm like, I'll move in there. Tell me where the house is. The ghost would probably turn into a demon dealing with my child. Both my children. Yeah, it'd have enough. All right, let's move on here. The last 2 articles are prediction ones. So, wait, did I mix them up? It should be iconic Irish almanac that predicted pandemic. Did I screw it up? Probably don't have the right picture of the article. Then I screwed something up. And then my article stuff's messing up. Hold on a second. And then my tablet's messing up. Hold on. Because I got one from Baba Wagner, but that's the last one. This one is the Almanac. So you probably don't have it in there. It got screwed up or didn't update right. I'll just read it. We don't have a picture for this article, but it's from Coast to Coast. Iconic Irish almanac that predicted the pandemic issues 2021 forecast. So let's see what they say, and we'll see what Baba Wagner says. And then we can look back to this in posterity and see how well they got it. So Iconic Irish almanac credited with having correctly predicted both the coronavirus pandemic and the results of the U.S. presidential election. I don't know if anybody's even figured that out yet, but issued a forecast for 2021. First published in 1764, Old Moore's Almanac was created by Theophilus Moore, who was dubbed the Irish Merlin by virtue of his astrological insights. More than 2.5 centuries, the annual publication has included a series of predictions for both Ireland and the world, which are purportedly penned by an anonymous psychic. This year, the almanac sparked headlines when the pandemic hit, as it in 2019 edition specifically stated, in 2020, an unusual virus has us worried, lending us further credence to the possible psychic powers on display in the publication. 2018 edition warned that there was a risk of viral pandemic in the second half of 2019, which is indeed when the coronavirus seemingly first emerged. In addition, these remarkable correct predictions, the almanac also forecast that Joe Biden would win the Democratic nominee for president, and that Trump would not serve a second term, but he doesn't go quietly. They got that right. Incredibly, in accounting by a media outlet, Ireland found that 10 other events of varying significant forecasts by the almanac also seemingly came to fruition. So, in the light of rather solid track record for the past year, the publication's 2021 forecast is undoubtedly worth considering for those who may wonder what the next 12 months might bring. Something better. Among the events predicted by this year's edition, a sharp divide in America. Well, you don't need to be a psychic to know that. And the UK over coronavirus vaccine, which will hamper recovery efforts. A step back from the spotlight by President Trump after he leaves office. That I doubt. And protests in Britain over the BritX deal. Totally going to see that happen. While those predictions are somewhat easy to foresee, the almanac also includes several events which they contend will occur in 2021 that are fairly specific. For example, the publication predicts that a government-sponsored kidnapping makes the news, and a freak weather event in Italy. On the technological front, the almanac says that travel is about to get easier with earbuds that can translate foreign languages, and airships are making a comeback. So we get like the floating airships. Meanwhile, the public predicts that 2021 will bring wedding bells for Taylor Swift and Paris Hilton. I don't care. Do you? I mean, do we need to predict? I don't care about those people. Pregnancy announcement for Lily Allen and Khloe Kardashian. Who cares? Predict something important. Who gives a crap about those people? So that's the almanac. So let's go to Baba Wagner, who passed away. She's been dead for several years now, but she made predictions. So Baba Wagner, this is from Unexplained Mysteries. Predictions for 2021 revealed. The blind mystic's prediction for the next 12 months sadly don't sound much better than this year. So she's got a bad outlook, I guess. No. Wagner was born in Bulgaria in 1911 and died in 1996. She's been dead a while. Age 85, spent most of her life in the Kosovo Mountains and was rolled over for her prophetic predictions about the future. While a great deal of skepticism has always surrounded the accuracy of these predictions, many people remain adamant she has successfully foretold a wide range of major global events. For 2020, she's predicted several things, including there will be a tsunami in China, that someone will try to assassinate the Russian president, Vladimir Putin, and the president of the United States will suffer from some sort of health issue, which could be referenced to Trump getting COVID-19. Of course, that was for 2020. It's certainly no secret this year has been pretty dire. However, it seems that Wagner's predictions for 2021 are not much better, assuming that there is any truth in them. For the next 12 months, she predicted a lot of cataclysms and great disasters. So that's just great. As well, three giants uniting with a strong dragon, which some have speculated to be referenced to China. And I just saw an article about a deal between China, Russia, and Iran. I'm like, oh, that's just great. Difficult times will come, she said. We are witnessing devastating events that will change the fate and destiny of humanity. On a more positive note, she also seems to suggest that scientists will find a cure for cancer. The day will come where cancer will get tied with iron chains. Could there be any other truth predictions? Did she predict coronavirus? No. So, I don't put much stock in these end of the world predictions. I do put a lot of stock in the way things are seeing, how technology is going. And I'm going to start off our World Wide Web of Weird, best of weird science, because, I always put where we're heading it with technology and science is scary, because it does scare me. So, you look at what China's doing with trying to make genetic super soldiers. Things, technology can be a great thing. It's a great thing for us to be able to talk during lockdowns and all that, having virtual worlds we can live in. Great. Technology can be good, but it can also be really bad. So I want to start the World Wide Web of Weird Best of 2020 with weird science, because there's some things we should be worried about that they're working on, and that's a lot of it. And then we will take your phone calls. Probably after the second commercial break, like usual, we'll open up the phone lines. I might still be doing the best of the World Wide Web of Weird. We might still roll into that, but I'll start taking your phone calls in. And call in. Tell me, what do you think was your weirdest moment of 2020? And also tell me, what do you think 2021 holds for us all? Or for yourself? What do you want? Tell us. I'm not granting any wishes. We might also do a smart, small 10-session ITC session, but not for phone callers. We'll do it for Ask in the spirit world, what do they think is going to happen in 2021? And, I'm still trying to catch up on my ITC editing and reviewing, so we won't make it too long of a session, but we won't take phone calls for that. I want to just talk. Call in tonight. We'll also converse with you guys in the chat room. I want, it's like we could show your comments up here. If you're new to the show, here we got Kim Limmy, PsyOps, just saying. Yeah. What do we got? So we got all these, we can show your comments up here. We can talk to you guys in the chat room. We can do a Q&A. We can do all that. I want this show tonight, us to come together, all of my fans of Paranormal Soup and new fans, to have a chance, your voices tonight to talk. We listen to we have incredible guests on the show, and we get to hear them talk about their experiences and knowledge and all that. But I want to hear from you guys tonight. Tell me about your experiences this year. Tell me about what you think is going to happen. This is your voice tonight, your show. You guys are going to make it what it is tonight. So we will have those phone lines open probably after second commercial break, maybe before. We'll see. And we're going to go over the best of the World Wide Web of Weird. But we do got to go to our first commercial break. When we come back to, we'll start out with the best of the World Wide Web of Weird. We'll save the ITC probably, if we do one session, we'll save that until later in the night. We'll get the energy built up. We'll save that for later. Yeah. I thought maybe doing ITC first, but we'll save that for later. And we'll start with the best of the World Wide Web Weird. All right, guys, we'll be right back after a short commercial break.
Join us every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time for Weird Wednesday, the live stream, with your hosts Jamie, the Living Dead Girl, and Rob, the Phantom, where we'll talk about all things paranormal, including zodiac, astrology, tarot card and oracle card readings, live ghost boxing and spirit communication, where we'll do voices from beyond the Cold Case Files. So we hope you join us live on Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time. We hope to see you there. Bye-bye.
Since 1948, Fate magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
encounters of the second kind, physical evidence of a UFO. Close encounters of the third kind, contact. From Steven Spielberg, the director of Jaws, comes one of the most ambitious and unusual films ever made. And what you will see has never been seen before. It's a cosmic mystery crossing what many scientists believe will be the next threshold of human experience. It's called Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It begins in an Indiana town and leads to one inescapable conclusion. We are not alone. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Certificate A. Now showing at the Odeon, Leicester Square.
The night is alive. Join us and take a walk on the weird side when you tune in to the Kingdom of Nye, hosted by Heather Wade, the finest in late night talk. Listen live free weeknights starting at 9 p.m. Pacific time at thekingdomofnye.com, talkstreamlive.com, and the Paranormal Radio app. Wanna take a ride?
The international chart-topping Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest has been described as terrifyingly real, a must-read, shocking and chilling brilliance, genuinely worrying, utterly frightening. Don't read before bed. Described as one of the spookiest writers out there, best-selling author G.L. Davies presents Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest, the true paranormal account that is shocking the world. Dare you enter? Dare you read? Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, and wherever books are sold. Pray you never have to live there.
Do you like rock and roll? Do you enjoy a good story? Wish You Were Here, A Rock Fantasy, is a book inspired by Badfinger. It will not only entertain you, but intrigue you. What is it about? Well, Thomas is searching for his bandmate and friend in heaven, and in spirit has helped pen this story. He meets an old friend and famous new ones on his afterlife voyage. Midwest Book Review said, Wish You Were Here, A Rock Fantasy, is a book inspired by Badfinger. It's a quirky story by Joyce S. Isaacson and is unique, original, and deftly crafted metaphysical novel that showcases the author's genuine flair for character and narrative-driven entertainment that is simply riveting from first page to last. Wish You Were Here, A Rock Fantasy is now available on pennantpublication.com, amazon.com in paperback and hardcover, and also on Kindle Unlimited. So check it out now. Wish You Were Here, A Rock Fantasy.
Switch to DCS Rangering.
240, nominal to profile.
We're in the pipe. 5 by
Tonight on Paranormal Soup, this is our end of 2020 New Year's special. We get to say goodbye to 2020, which is going to be a forever, like, curse word, I guess. Like, just everybody can agree. We can all come together on this, that 2020 sucked hard. Maybe we had some good things, though, we can highlight or think about. Try to make, lemonade out of lemons. I don't know. We can do that with the World Wide Web of Weird. We're going to cover tonight It's the best of the World Wide Web of Weird that I felt. Maybe it's not the best. Maybe I'm totally wrong. But his stories I liked. It'd be articles. Some are videos. Some are photos. A lot of articles. In the categories of best of weird science, best of ghost, best of Bigfoot, best of cryptid or other creatures stories, and best of aliens or UFO stories, best of weird Florida people, and then just best of weird people. And we'll compare, do they out-weird the Florida weird person when we vote on it. And I'll take your kind of votes as best I can in our chat rooms on Facebook and YouTube, where we have wonderful people in those chat rooms. If you've not ever come on to Facebook or YouTube and joined the chat rooms, don't be scared. They're a very open group. They're very open to other people, and it's just a good community. That's one of the things I'm most proud of about doing this show. 5 years we went strong in 2020. We made our 5th year in 2020, and here's to 2021 and us going on 6 years because I'm already getting booked way into it. So we got a lot of weird too. So let's get rolling into the show. Need the loud thunderous roar for 2020, the end of. The best part about 2020 is the end. Let's hope it's not the end of everything, because that's where I feel we've always on the skirt of here. I don't know how you doing with the end of 2020, Rob, Jamie.
I'm not making any predictions. I'm just along for the ride. Things could be worse. That's the way I look at it.
If that's a prediction, let's hope you're not wrong.
Yeah.
So we got the best of the World Wide Web of Weird, and there is a lot. If you go back, I spent a lot of time going back through. I've kept all the World Wide Web of Weirds notes, and I went back starting at the first show we did in January, and I see like the start of my coronavirus articles I would cover and the worry, and then this is how it turned into the coronavirus special, and we had all that in the World Wide Web of Weird. Well, no coronavirus stories really tonight. It's all about the regular weird. Coronavirus is weird enough. I don't care to talk about it ad nauseum. We've heard enough of that. These weird stories are going to be with our favorite subjects in the paranormal. Like I said, the weird science. And there's my tablet messing up on me. Darn it. Weird. Don't do that. Actually, I might not be able to take phone calls on one line here because I'm going to have to take that off the thing for now while I read. Okay, so let's start off with the best of weird science. Why do I like the weird science? Because when I was in grade school, I was known as the mad scientist because I'd always talk about sci-fi, geeky things. It never got me any friends in grade school. I was known as a mad scientist because I was drawing all kinds of death machines, spaceships, and robots, and I was known as the mad scientist. So I love these mads. There's a little part of me that is the mad scientist, like, oh yeah, do it, and the other part is like, don't do it. Didn't you watch that movie where they did that? It was really bad. It's not on my roadmap. All right, let's start out with this first one here. I'm a big Mandalorian Star Wars fan. Obviously, I got the pew 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 here. And just recently, at the end of okay, spoiler alert. Mute your mic if you haven't seen the last episode of Mandalorian. Mute the volume for the next, give it 20 seconds. All right, spoiler alert. So at the end of the Mandalorian, Luke comes walking in, and digital Luke, Digicabra Luke. It wasn't that great, but I didn't care. As a Star Wars fan, I was just happy to see the connection. And a group called Deepfake went and redid Disney's version of it, and that made it look like Luke. I'm like, why can't a Disney have done that? Well, that's the thing. Deep fakes. This first one we covered right early on. This was from January 7th of 2020. Samsung's neon artificial humans are here. This was the beginning of the year, and this, I swear, we're going to see so much more of this in 2021. The company finally lifts its curtain of its life-size AI avatars that can be models, customer service reps. It's going to take our jibs. I work retail. This is what I'm really scared of. Or your new best friend, like the guy who married his doll. He can just marry the most beautiful, realistic VR person. I bet he still goes with the doll. But there's still many unanswered questions. According to Samsung, Neon is computationally created virtual being which acts and looks like a real human. Go ahead and play the video so people can see how she interacts here.
What could go wrong?
Right. Look how real she is. If, this wasn't, if this is real, they're not, Samsung's just pulling the wool over us. She looks real. Man, just wait for virtuality, like to be really take off, and then people are meeting each other, and you're gonna be dating some woman you think is real, but it's just really AI. She's taking you for all your money, and it's some big fat guy behind a keyboard, like scamming like a million people with some AI algorithm that's like, screwing them in VR, and they're giving them all their money so they can fly her back to America or something because she needs to escape Cambodia or something. I don't know. That's what's coming.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? I just think I named it.
Yeah, the list is very long.
Yeah, and scientists up to other great things. Number 2, scientists reveal world's first living robots. Does that sound like a good thing? Researchers succeed in creating robots that are made from living animal cells instead of metal or plastic. It's good for the environment. The remarkable achievement comes courtesy of robotics in the United States who use the skin and heart cells of an African clawed frog. It's always the poor frogs, like Jurassic Park and whatever. It's always the poor frogs. Clawed frog to produce robots capable of moving around all on their own. These are entirely new life forms, said Michael Levine from the Alien Discovery Center at Tufts University in Milford, Massachusetts. They are living programmable organisms. Measuring less than 1 millimeter in length, these tiny robots are based on designs produced by a supercomputer. So it was created by a supercomputer AI, by the way, which chummed out and tested hundreds of possible 3D configuration. The aim is to understand the software of life. Is that the aim? If you think about birth defects, cancer, age-related diseases, all these things could be solved if we know how to make biological structures to have ultimate control over the growth and form. That's the thing. It could be good. We could cure cancer, like Baba Wagner says. Maybe we'll do next year. Or we create the zombie plague.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little echo. I don't know if I'm getting it from you, Rob, because Jamie's muted. It's weird. I don't know if people are hearing it. Sorry. I'm getting a little echo. That's all.
I can hear a little bit of like feedback.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why. Usually I don't get it from Rob. At what point would these beings become at what point would they become beings with interests that ought to be protected, said Thomas Douglas from Oxford Center of Practical Ethics. Like, if these were living life forms, right? That's the thing. I just picture this thing becoming the zombie plague, like these things interacting. I just don't think making living robots is the greatest thing. But mad scientist me is like, oh yeah, I can think of all these super creatures you can make with that, and horrible, good sci-fi horror plot lines. But yeah, probably not a good idea. So this one, I personally,
I don't think playing God is a good idea.
This one I really like because we're talking about going to the moon. I'm excited about we should go to the moon. The prospects of that after this election are probably not so good. But this one I love. This astronauts P could help build a moon base. This was from March 31st. Urine of the first lunar settlers could be used as a construction material to help build new structures. I got a frog in my throat. Hold on a sec. I'm dying here. Ugh. With plans to send humans back to the moon in full swing. Oh, man. Scientists have been working a way to construct habitable buildings on the lunar surface. So what do they come up with? Urine. Now researchers have identified a resource that would be available in copious quantities once the first humans arrive on the lunar surface, human urine. With that, they argue it should be possible to create types of plasticular or for construction purposes. So they basically turn your pee into like a plastic. What? Imagine you're like, how that would smell. You're like, does it smell? So I love this. Like,
space house smell like a gas station.
Piss houses on the moon.
Like a big urine.
Yeah. The thing is, that'll be like stuff they build underground too. But one of the articles I couldn't find, I know we covered, is that they're going to have to build under the surface of the moon. Radiation they've found is so bad. The only thing that really will protect humans there is being under the surface of the moon. They're going to have to use this. Yeah. But who knows? Who knows if we'll even get there? All right. Here we go. I always like to rail against the government of China. And this is one of the ones that we had early. When was this? This is from June 1st, 2020. China is considering plans to genetically modify soldiers to make army of Terminator-style troops. Like I said, China loves the Terminator movies. They called their social networking AI program Skynet. China may be planning to genetically modify its soldiers for an army of Terminator-style super troopers, a defense think tank has warned. Expert, and it's not, I think we had another article, it's not just a think tank, they're actually doing it, them and France. Expert at Russi say genetically modified soldiers could be faster, stronger, clever than their battlefield opponents and even feel no pain. Their DNA could also be adapted to help. Hey, Rob, I'm going to have you mute when you're not talking because I think it's echoing still. Sorry, I just keep hearing it in my ear. All right. Their DNA could also be adapted to help them recover quickly from injuries or give them superior hearing and night vision. Russi's professor John Loth said the threat is obvious and real Chinese money could be stealing a march on Western armed forces that is deeply concerning. The warning comes after Chinese scientist He Genikui, I don't know how you say that, said he used gene editing technology to make genetically modified babies. Remember, after he did that, we covered that, I think in 2018, they put him under house arrest. And then he disappeared. So I don't know what happened with him. Genetically modified technology is proven with plants. It could possibly be applied to people. In China, it's reasonable to assume that they are enhancing their battlefield soldiers on all these fronts. Basically, if people are Star Trek fans like me, Khan Sung, Ninian Sung, whatever, the bad guy, Faratha Khan, Ninian Sung was, never, I'm getting two characters, but Khan, basically, Kirk Khan, he was a genetically modified soldier. And it was all what started World War III in the Star Trek universe. So there you go, China. Our science fiction is not our game plan. It's not a roadmap on what to do. Stop giving. I love science fiction, but they got to stop giving China all these great ideas. And lastly, this is a heartfelt, touching story. We were just talking about on Weird Wednesday about if men fear their members being cut off. Remember that, Jamie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember talking about where you're like, do men really fear that? I'm like, yes, they do. This is why this is a heartwarming story about what science can do to help humanity. Man has his penis grown on his arm after losing his genitalia to sepsis. When I saw my penis go black, I was beside myself. It was like a horror film. Imagine that as a guy. That's your worst nightmare. There's I can't remember the movie about it's a true story about a kid who's like trying to fake being a Nazi. He was trying to undo his circumcision. And he looks down and he sees that it's all black and purple, not looking good. That's the worst nightmare. We've all guys had that nightmare. After severe sepsis, the infection caused him to lose his genitalia at 45 years old. And he became the first to have a new bionic penis grafted onto his arm. So that's what we see. Can't show it. You can see the blurred image. Use your imagination. Malcolm McDonald, a mechanic from Norfolk, was due to have the new appendage attached to his genitalia in 2018. Oh, then my article went nuts. Damn it. My article went nuts on me.
Did you say he tried to reverse a circumcision?
No, that wasn't him. I'm quoting from a movie.
No, but somebody.
Yeah, it was a real true story. Yeah, it was a Jewish person was trying to survive in the Holocaust, pretending to be German, and was trying to undo his circumcision. What is the name of that movie? It's a really good movie and really depressing. Just so you can be depressed more in 2020, go watch it. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it's a true story how this guy survived. And at one point he was like a teenager in the Nazi youth school. Yeah, what is the name of that movie? Chat room? Probably people are like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. It's a really good movie. I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, my article came back.
Black Penis, that's the name of it.
No, that's not it. That's not it. That's just one small part of the movie. It's a really good movie, and I can't think of the name of it now. Sorry. But anyways, this poor soul, through the miracle of science, got his penis back. He just had to walk around with it on his arm. What this poor guy. But he took it in stride. I'd walk around with him on my arm too. Yep, that's my penis. It's going to be back attached soon enough. But that's the miracles of science.
Bionic penis. We can make it better, stronger.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so what do we got here? So what does the chat room think? Do we got, for best of weird science, Samsung's artificial humans, scientists creating living robots, moon base is made out of pee, Terminator genetically modified soldiers from China, or bionic penis? It wasn't really bionic, genetically grown penis. So what does the chat room say? Let's see. Come on, people. Tell me what you say before we move on to the next category. Give me some votes here.
Maybe there's a little delay.
just for party favors and party tricks, I'm gonna have to go with penis on the arm.
So we got one penis on the arm from Rob.
You got.
I'm voting for the arm.
Oh yeah. Yeah, of course, I didn't think this one through. There's a bunch of people are going to be typing penis in the chat room comments, but I think that is the winner here I'm seeing so far.
That's
Did you say wiener?
That's the wiener.
Wiener. The wiener here so far. Yeah, that's definitely the winner. I don't see anybody else contesting that there. It seems that everybody's in agreement. Okay, let's see. I just put that right up on the screen there for posterity's sake there. Yeah. Yeah. I never thought you'd see that in the chat room, just posted by Everbell. Oh, yeah. I'm putting all your names up to type that just so watch that become a tag for the show on YouTube.
It would be an awesome party trick, you know.
Type. You can do that. So that the bionic penis wins for best weird science of 2020's World Wide Web of Weird. I had a feeling. I don't know why. I thought they were all good, you know, but I guess that's the more positive story out of the 4 or 5 I had. That's definitely the more positive story, because I don't know. It's nothing positive about genetically modified Terminator soldiers from China. No, or living robots. No. Man gets his penis back. God-given miracle. Science.
Yeah. See, you know, I mean, that's how science maybe ought to be.
Hitler used Solomon was the movie name. I don't think that was it, Alan. Oh, God, what was it? It's a real true story about a guy who survived the Holocaust when he was a teenager. And he had to fake that he wasn't Jewish in a Hitler Youth School. And I can't remember the name of it. I don't think it was that. That was the name of it. Doesn't sound familiar. Anyways, I hate that when I think of a movie and then I can't think of the name. Sorry. All right, I lost my notes. Going back to my notes. Best of 2020. All right. The next category up. Like I said, we kind of covered this during the, not long ago Halloween show. We had like kind of a best of ghosts so far. And I put that so far because I knew I'd be doing this for the New Year's special. But I since we covered so many ghost things there, I left it as only 3 things, 3 of my favorites. And one we didn't cover, I totally forgot about when we got to the Halloween show, because it's sad. This first one is real sad. The world lost Kobe Bryant. Everybody, the plane crash happened. It was real tragic. But this really interesting photo came out of it from the crash site, and we covered it on the World Wide Web of Weird. But I forgot, I didn't have it in our best of ghosts during the Halloween show. And I said so far, well, I forgot about this one. National Transportation Safety Board released footage Tuesday morning of the helicopter crash. This was on January 28th. So this was early into 2020. Just to it was an early insight that 2020 was going to suck. The footage shows NTS investigators documenting and collecting evidence of the crash site that killed former NBA sports star Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi and 7 others. Remember, the helicopter crashed, and then this photo appeared, and I don't know how well it comes across on here. It went around quite a bit for the first week or so after he passed away, but it's supposedly a photo from the crash site, and you kind of see like a torso of a human there, almost like they're naked even. And it's when we've had I've seen some incredible crash scene photos. It's incredible if you are seeing spirit at this moment. And it's also real sad. It's like you're getting this great piece of footage, but it's at the saddest. It could be the saddest thing. He died here. His daughter died, and is that why we got this piece of footage? It's so traumatic. So not the happiest of the ghost photos, but is really truly any ghost photo happy? No, they're all sad spirits. They're some way passed on. But
as far as ghost photos, though, that's probably one of my favorites.
Mine too, because it was it felt like it was something there. It felt like this is something.
Definitely. That's
all right.
Yeah.
This next one, we had this one on our best of these next 2. We had on our best of Ghost to Ghost and Ghost to Ghost. That was Art Bell. May you rest in peace. Best of our ghost of from our Halloween show. This one was the pet camera. It was filmed the ghost cat. Fantastic video popped up online. This was from June 19th. It was captured last month by a pet camera in the home of a woman in Sweden, England. you'll see her cat. You'll see she has a real cat that is there that it like jumps off the couch. But you'll see on the couch this little black fuzzball thing up here. It looks like a cat. Go ahead and play it. This is from Hidden Underbelly 2.0. Great YouTube channel. Gets a lot of good stuff like this. See, and it starts to appear as she turns on the light because she's wondering why her other cat's freaking out. And see, as the light changes with the IR, it becomes a solid cat. And there should be no cat there, according to her. She doesn't see it. She just comes in to see stuff. She doesn't see it on the couch. And after losing both my pets, both my dogs this year, you know, and I know so many people lose their pets, their family members they lose. I think this was one of my favorites just because it shows the cat, you know, it shows she's still there. I've had that experience. I was just talking to my aunt about this, about seeing a cat that she owned and then lived with me, that I saw this cat Patches when after she passed. I could see her just faintly in the moonlight, and I could hear her purring and feel her on the bed. You know, I think our pets hang around. We were hearing Asia, she's a pug, so she had a smashed nose. She breathes, and we'd hear it. When she passed just recently, we heard it for the first week. My son did. My wife heard her. I heard her. And then it went away, and we felt like maybe she moved on. I don't know. I still feel them at times. All right. And then the third one, just because I love this shenanigan ghost, just because I love the shenanigans. This was from Irving Times. This is the one, if you remember, the woman working at a supermarket or at a gas station or something like that, the crate gets pulled out from under her foot. Like it does. Watch. It really does get pulled. I don't know how to explain it. Go ahead. Play it.
There goes.
A jerk. And the guy standing there, he sees it. He realized it happened too. You can tell. He's like, what the heck? See that? Watch. Something moves it before her foot even gets to it.
Yeah. And she takes a digger too.
Oh yeah. That is one jerk ghost. So that's my best. I mean, I had a lot of other ghost stuff throughout the year, and I looked at some of them. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty weird or whatever. Like, and I had a ton of TikTok ones, but I don't trust those. I might play them, we might talk about them, but I don't trust those. These three stories, I do, and I thought were interesting. So, what do you guys think? Is it the Kobe Bryant photo, or are we going to go with the pet, the cat, ghost cat? Or are we going to go with the shenanigans pulling ghost? All right. So what do we got?
I'm voting Kobe.
Voting Kobe?
Yep.
I'll keep my opinion to myself for now. I want to see what the chat room says. So we got Kobe, we got Ghost Cat, and we got shenanigans. I see a cat.
They're all three pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought so. Could have said cat, but okay. I'll take pussy. For 100. No. We got all right. I've seen a lot of cat, but I've seen ghosts or Kobe, ghost cat. Ooh, we might have to go back through this and figure it out because I'm getting Kobe too. I don't see the cat. Go ahead and bring up the cat for the skeptic. Maybe it'll change your mind. Bring up the cat video again because somebody's like, I don't see the cat. Because it's worth seeing. It really is. For if you've lost a pet, this is one of my favorites. Let me get the comment off. All right, you're going to look down on the couch, okay? It's going to be on the couch on the left. You're going to see it. It's going to be translucent. Don't get in full screen. I can't see anything, Rob. It's not doing it. Yeah, it's not working. You can see it at the end, totally solid. There on the couch. See its little black ears, the little black cat. Go back to when it's translucent. Then when it switches, you see it's like translucent there on the couch because the IR light, it could have been, if it was a real cat, maybe it's something with the IR light. You can't really see it because it's dark, but watch, it really is. I think it's something like it materializes here with the switch. I don't know. See a lot of votes for the cat. Bionic Man, that was the weird science. He won. I'm voting Kobe. It seems to be a tie between Kobe and the cat, but I'm seeing more cat than Kobe. So I should get that off there. See the cat? It's right there, solid. I was doing the comments, I'd probably put it over it like an idiot.
No.
You'll see it. You don't see anything on the couch when it first starts, but it like as the IR light changes, as she turns on the light, it's like it's an image appears. It's weird. So it's between the cat and Kobe, but cat looks like.
I think Cat's winning.
Cat's one. Yeah, and that's my favorite. I like the Kobe one, but it's interesting. But the cat's my favorite. Maybe it's my personal bias. That's who I was picking, was the cat, because of losing my pets.
Yeah, I would give that one a good go.
And seeing my first pet, Patches. I had that experience of seeing her after she passed, hearing her, feeling her. I mean, she was there.
Yeah, I got my tiger in a EVP that I found later. It all added up. It was crazy.
All right, then
we lost Sam's dog here, Igby. My mom sees him all the time. She's like, no, he comes and sees me all the time.
And I have family members talking about her cat. She's like, she felt him there around her after he passed, and then she felt like he moved on, which I do think they do. I mean, I think the pets are reincarnated. I think they come back multiple times in different ways. The really weird circumstances with my first cat, Patches, she was my aunt's cat, and she couldn't have or keep her anymore. So me and my parents took her in, and Patches used to sleep with me in the bed. And she actually passed away during the beginning of my whole shadow person experience. And I don't know if it was related or not. My mom thinks she was poisoned by the food she was eating, because they found out later was a lot of it tainted from China. Yeah. But as after the shadow person experience ended, it felt like her spirit could come back into the house. Like, it was so bad, it was keeping her away. It was not long after that ended. I'm already been freaked out with the shadow person thing. I can't sleep. I'm like wide awake in my bed, just laying there. And next thing you know, I felt like this little, like her jumping up on the bed. Like I felt it, and I could hear her purr, and I could almost see her faintly outlined just outside, because my moonlight was coming in through my window onto my bed, but it's just outside of it where she was. I could almost faintly see her. And I'm like, I started to have tears down my face, and it was her way of saying goodbye to me. She used to sleep with me all, in my bed. She was my first pet. So, that's definitely why that's my favorite story. Okay. Let's see. We got Bigfoot next. So, like, it's not all these. Some of these are stories. Some of these are videos. Some of them are different things. I think this first one's a video. Mechanic shares eerie footage of a mysterious creature which stalked him through the bushland where Yowies have been spotted before. Now, this one, you really have to I had to stop it and zoom in. I to really look at this one. I think the original video I did was better, but Mechanic has shared footage after claiming to have found something thrown at him by an unidentified creature in the dense bushland. Mark Demetrio was cleaning out a bucket near the Imbil State Forest in southeast Queensland while gold prospecting when he claimed something was thrown at him. And I find this one interesting because early on reports of Yahweh or Sasquatch or whatever in America was a lot with gold miners. And one of the connections, and if I write a book, I'm thinking about writing a book, this is one of the things I really want to talk about, is the Enkidu from the Sumerians was a beast-like creature they made as a worker thing. What did it do? Mine. What did it mine? Gold. And it seems some of these Sasquatch things with early North American history with Sasquatch would appear around come and be threatening towards miners with gold. And I've always wondered, are they the Enkidu of the Sumerians? So this guy gets this video. Let me get it up here. We'll see. This is sketchy. It's like I said, I don't even have videos for the cryptid and creatures part. I have stories because, there's a lot. I'm just like, yeah, that ain't nothing. So I didn't include it. But this one, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Go ahead and play. It might not turn out the best on here. You can find it at dailymail.co.uk. This article was from January 13th of 2020. All right, go ahead. This one's going to be really hard to see. I really had to slow it down and really look on it a big screen. I don't think it's going to show up well if you're looking at this on your phone, maybe on a TV, but it's like way back in the brush and you can see it's like head. And I think I did a slow up on this and I tried to zoom in more. Yeah. It's like watching him through the trees. This might be hard. But I found it interesting. He was, again, another person. I like this one because it goes with my theory. I know. That's not real science, but it does kind of go with my speculation that the Bigfoot could be the ancient Enkidu, how you call them, from Sumerian culture. I thought later in the video I'd do like a zoom in. Yeah, here it is. See, like it's like, I don't know if it's pareidolia, but it kind of looks like its eyes and face in the background there. I don't know. See a lot of these kind of videos. I don't know. I thought this story was interesting. That's number one. Probably won't win. All right, next one. Terrifying Bigfoot screams recorded in Ohio. I had to include one scream. So we'll see if screams count as the best evidence or video. Let's see. We're going to play the scream. When living alone in a remote region, of course, this would be scary. To me, the Bigfoot screams, if you're out in the woods and you heard this stuff, I'll admit, I'm one of those people who goes running towards the unknown and the unnatural, but a big hairy beast that's screaming this, I'm not. When you're living alone in a remote region, of course, there are some sounds that you definitely don't want to hear, and these terrifying cries coming from somewhere nearby is a prime example. This was from Unexplained Mysteries, February 21st. Recorded on the afternoon of February 9th by YouTube user Preston Riley. These mournful screams would be enough to unnerve just about anyone. Now, some people have said, oh, it's moose sounds. I don't know the wilderness. I am not a survival man, you know. So I don't know. I could be wrong. But if I heard this in the woods, I'd be like, I'm going to leave the woods now, or I'm going to at least go in with a firearm. Go ahead and play it. I'm not hearing it. There it is. Now I enhanced it.
That would be pretty freaky.
Yeah. And my sons, they've all watched the Bigfoot horror movies. Like, yeah, they're 9 and 4. I know I'm a horrible parent, but they have an obsession with Bigfoot and Bigfoot being a monster. I know they also loved Harry and Henderson's. I made them watch that way more, but they want to watch the scary ones. And I have to like go and pre-watch it to make sure it's not too bad. Like it's going to be a cheesy B movie, but not too much gore. You know, I tried to like find ones for them that they could get away with without terror. I had them watch one. I pre-watched it. Doesn't show anything like gory too much. It's just really creepy in the woods. And it's a bad B movie action kind of thing. A little bit of this guy. It's like almost like Predator with Bigfoot. And they love that movie, but then they're like, I'm never going camping. I'm like, oh, okay, I screwed up.
I've heard a lot of animal sounds, but I can't say what that sound. I mean, that sounds pretty weird. I mean, some of those
see that.
Like
see Kim Libby. See Kim here. She's like, it's a moose. No, that's a moose.
I don't think it's a moose.
But I don't know. Would you know? You're in California. I don't know where Kim's from, but I don't know. It could be a moose. Moose are scary. Then that's a horrible sound. So that probably won't win the award.
Sounded like moans, not an animal.
Yeah. All right. We got Bigfoot sighting in West Virginia near this. We got a photo. So this is our Bigfoot photo. So we had one video, one scream sound video, and we got one photo, and then we're going to have one more video. A husband and wife living in a remote corner of Fayette County in Southwest Virginia claimed to have encountered a photo and photographed Bigfoot. Bill Humphrey of Denise says that before October 2019 incident had ridiculed such claims. So this happened in 2019 though. Sorry. I don't know. I guess I missed that, but we covered this in 2020, but spent the last half year turning the encounter over in his mind. I didn't believe in Bigfoot. Humphrey said, I was 100% didn't believe in it. And I said, the people who claimed that I thought were crazy. According to Humphrey, a hunter and a coal miner for the U.S. Marine, encounter occurred in late October in the woods near his home, where he had set up a hunting blind. On a series of consecutive nights, food had been put out to attract game, had been disappearing more quickly than usual. Everything was gone within hours, all of it. So he spent the part of the next 2 nights in a deer blind, hoping to catch culprits. Perhaps it's the same game. He set up a cam and a huge light and pointed it downward from about 9 feet of the ground. I knew I had some raccoons. We've got deer and beer, blah, blah, blah. Article goes on. Basically, I'll let you see the photo now. This you kind of see it's not coming across very well on here. wvexplorer.com is where I got this from. I don't know if I only have one photo in there for this, or did I have two? I had another one. Let's go to the next one. It's hard to see. It blurs it out on here. The clear picture of it, when I'm looking at on my phone even, is you can see like something standing in the background. But it's really blurry as you zoom in. So that's our Bigfoot photo. There's a lot of other photos we had in the World Wide Web of Weird. All of them I could have said were tree stumps. I don't know. That could be a tree stump. That could be a creature. It comes out really blurry across on here.
I just pulled up moose sounds on YouTube, and some of them do kind of like if there was an echo down in a canyon, maybe some of those sounds could carry.
It sounded like it was echoing.
Yeah, it could be moose. If it was really upset. All
right, the last one's going to be dash cam footage. All right, so this one was from Unexplained Mystery. New footage has emerged, this is not new now, as March 16th of 2020. Shot 30 miles east of Banff Park boundary near Nordig, Alberta. The short clip was recorded by an oil field worker who had been driving around along when he picked up something out of the side of the road. According to the company description, he hadn't noticed anything unusual at the time and only discovered an anomalous figure when he reviewed the footage later for unrelated reasons. The Bigfoot itself is rather indistinct to say the least, a dark, shapeless form visible between the two trees. Now, I zoomed this in, and you almost see its eyes, okay? Maybe. I don't know. Or it just happens to be maybe snowflakes, but it looks like it's almost his eyes, you see. You can easily see a patch of foliage, a gap between the branches as a cast shadow. All right, just go ahead and play this. You really don't see it on the original cam until you zoom in and slow down. How he caught this, I don't know. What he was originally looking for. All right, right there. It's like a dark shadow, like he's just been standing there. I think it's a tree with snow on it. Because, I mean, why would the Bigfoot be just, I mean, unless he's really going full camouflage, I don't know. But that's the thing. I did not have a lot of good Bigfoot stuff. Everything I can knock down. This one was interesting to me because it does look like it's a darker shape there, like maybe hiding under a branch with snow. But you almost swear you see its eyes there. I don't know. So, yeah, I know. I was weak in the Bigfoot stories. The other one I didn't put in here was the Bigfoot flag one when the cemetery. Remember that one? I forgot about that one. I just realized there was a Bigfoot. They thought the Bigfoot like destroyed the American flag, but I don't know. I don't know about that one either. So, I know the categories are weak. We got the Yowie footage from Australia we started out with. Bigfoot screams in Ohio. West Virginia near Gorge photo or dash cam Bigfoot. See what we thought. This is I only could do stories I covered this year. So, if I missed some really good Bigfoot stuff out there, it's sorry. Let's see. I think people are going with a howl. It's either a moose or it's a Bigfoot. So this person's not a moose there. Call is different. Been hunting moose for the last 10 years. Never heard a moose sound like that. Oh. Okay. Thank you for that opinion.
Yes.
Thank you. See, I wouldn't know. I have no idea. Never gone Sasquatch, and I'd love to. I still would like. I'd hear a moose, and I'd be like, "Oh, it's Bigfoot." I wouldn't know. Bigfoot screams. The screams are what's the scariest. Like, if you heard that out in the woods, were you going to go running towards it? I would.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's moose, whether it's Bigfoot, whether it's Barney the Clown, if you're out, in the woods and you hear that,
where's Tyler put Mothman? That's going to be up in the cryptid part, which we might have to hold in the next commercial break. I don't know. I think maybe not. There's not too much in the cryptid part, but I have a Mothman story. Bigfoot scream. So Bigfoot scream seems to be the winner. It's like
just because it's so weird.
Yeah. That's a bear death moan. That's an interesting theory. Bear death moan. I don't know what a bear death moan sounds like, but it does sound like something that's in horrible pain. This is my theme with
I've never heard a bear sound. I've camped in some of the craziest valleys out here.
But a death scream, like it's injured.
But that don't even sound like a bear.
I don't know. I don't know.
I camp with bears.
I was out flounder gigging one night. It was like 3 a.m, and I was out in my boat, and I heard what I believe was a dog got eaten by an alligator. and this was like
Ooh.
20 years ago. And
Oh, that's horrible. Oh, that's horrible.
I still remember every little niche of that sound.
Oh God.
Yeah, that probably would haunt me for a long time.
It was-
Especially you can't save the dog and its poor thing. Oh my God, that would be horrible.
Something got it. I'm assuming it was an alligator, but
Yeah, probably an alligator. Yeah, I didn't have a Mothman photo. I mean, I've seen some stuff that people said was Mothman. I thought was just bunk. But let's see. For the next part, they're all articles. I don't have any photos or video stuff for just cryptid or other. And I know I played a lot of stuff, but if you go back and watch all the ones I played, I criticized them heavily. Like I remember the Stranger Things like creature in the woods, and I debunked that because I went back and showed you the videos where, you know, they were kind of setting it up. You know, I don't know. I just have articles or stories I thought were interesting in cryptid. So let's go ahead and do cryptid. We got time. All right. So this first one relates back to an article I covered in 2019. And this one was early on. This was in February, but it related to an article I had covered the year before, and a mystery I still think is like unsolved. Maybe I'm wrong. Somebody has solved it or whatever. And this is really sad. And the other story it's connected to, I'll read too. I don't have a photo of it, is really sad too. But it's like, what is done this? Boy 13 is killed in a suspected canine attack on a Kentucky mountainside near a relative's home. A Kentucky teen died on Tuesday after being attacked by a canine-type creature police have yet to identify. The Kentucky State Police were called to a home in Emanuelina community in Knott County at 6 p.m. Tuesday following a report of an animal attack on a 13-year-old boy. The body was found on a mountainside behind the residence of Knott County coroner Corey Watson pronounced him dead from suspected injuries stemming from an animal attack. Although the boy has yet been officially named, a member of the family has set up a GoFundMe which identifies him as Corey Godsey. An autopsy performed by a state medical examiner in Frankfurt Wednesday morning determined the cause of death to be from injuries consistent with an animal attack. Authorities weren't able to identify what type of animal was responsible, but they were still investigating. So there was I'll go back to my notes. The one from 2019, why this interests me, there was a Brenda Hamilton, 77, was killed in North Carolina in a mysterious animal attack on the roads. On a road in a small town in Pentago, North Carolina. Police say the canine and DNA was found on Hamilton's clothing, but the testing didn't differentiate between wild canines such as wolves or domestic canines. They couldn't figure out what kind of canine it was. And it seems so similar. I mean, two different states, but it seems so similar story. And there's been others of these strange animal attacks. They just find the body and it's been killed by some kind of canine, but they never can identify the canine. There's been a number of these stories over the years. I've finally had them in the World Wide Web of Weird the year before with this woman, and then this poor kid. And to me, it's a deepening mystery, and I love to know where. It also goes into that kind of like even though they found this boy's body, the missing 411. You wonder if there's some kind of creature out there that we don't know of that's hunting people. I don't know. So that was the first one encrypted, and I just lost my articles. The next one, hold on. I thought this was kind of coronavirus related. And we covered this. This is from anomalien.com. Mysterious creature knocks on windows and doors at night and sparks panic in India. This is when everybody's like locked down. And this went on for months now. We covered it a couple of times about the mysterious creature. People saw it jumping from roof to roof. And this original article that came out on April 3rd, a mysterious creature causes fear among residents living in Karakad, North Karakad, Villanar, somewhere in India. A lot of people have seen this strange creature roaming around in the region. The creature appears on the rooftops and in front of yard houses after 9 p.m. Local residents claim that it is a dark shape that is not clearly visible due to the darkness. It frequently causes noises by banging on doors and windows of houses. Citizens have been waiting for the last 4 days to see what this creature is, but it's said to be incredibly fast as it jumps over walls and runs from one house to another in a flash. Last night, a group of villagers pursued, but the entity got to the terrace of the house and ran away after sliding down a trunk of a mango tree nearby. Notwithstanding all the hysteria, no incident of robbery or assault by a supernatural creature has yet to be registered. Locals also wonder what there is a mentally ill guy behind all this. This thing was jumping over walls and jumping onto trees. Like people are reporting. This went on for months reporting of this. I saw many other articles coming up that people still experiencing this. And it all started happening when they went into COVID lockdown. And I always speculated could be maybe monkeys. We saw the monkeys go crazy, maybe knocking on people's like, where are the people? Or cryptid? Like, how did COVID affect cryptids? Did it bring them out? Like, where'd the people go? And this was one of those stories that I liked for that. So that's one of my choices for cryptid. And the last one, we always covered a lot of the Singular 14 stories, especially when it concerns the Chicago Mothman. And we talked about it in 2019, and this story from 2020, June 23rd, 2020, Manuel Navarrete of the UFO Clearinghouse said he has recently spoken to a pilot who claimed to have seen what he called an O'Hare Mothman on August 2019. Now, this is from 2019, but we covered it in 2020. So while aboard a shuttle at Chicago O'Hare International Airport. The man told Navarrete that he had been a commercial pilot for 2 different airlines since before 2008, and prior to that, he had served for 6 years in the United States Air Force. He had added over 9,000 hours of flight time, blah, blah, blah. He's talking about all his credentials. We believe you. This is his story. I'd flown into O'Hare the previous day and had stayed at a hotel for the night. I was due to fly out at 10 p.m. To the UK. I was taking the airport shuttle towards the terminal, and as I looked out the window, I saw a large human with enormous wings and glowing red eyes perch upon a rail looking straight at me. The being appeared to be squatting down on the rail, but it had its wings completely open and moved them slowly as he stared at the shuttle bus as we drove by. I knew it was watching me as its head swiveled and it followed the shuttle as we passed. Its eyes locked on me the entire time. I was startled and I'll admit very frightened, not only by the encounter, but the absolute boldness of the scene as it did not move or attempt to hide itself as we approached. Knowing that it could be clearly seen, we passed it on the outside landing. We're out at our closest, approximately 15 feet away from where it was perched. It never once flinched or attempted to hide itself. It just stayed put and watched us as we passed. When we passed, I attempted to look back and see if it was still perched there. I saw nothing. You can only assume that it must have flown off when we passed. I've heard the stories of the O'Hare Mothman, or some have called it the Batman. I love that. But I simply dismissed them as nothing more than fantasy and urban legend that was associated with the already spooky airport. I mean, who hasn't heard of the weird UFO sightings over O'Hare, the stories of ghosts and whatnot? What happened to me that evening changed my entire view of those stories. So when I saw this post asking for pilots to step up forward and share their stories, I took advantage of the opportunity to tell my encounter with the O'Hare Mothman. That's why I like Singular 13. They got a lot of these stories covering this. We've covered over the last few years the O'Hare Mothman. This was the one, I think the last one we had in the back, and like I said, this was June. So what do we got category wise, or for this category? We had 3. So we had boy killed by unknown canine, knocking cryptid creature on people's doors during COVID lockdown, or Chicago O'Hare Mothman. What are we going to pick for cryptid story? Let's see.
I'm gonna go with Mothman just because it's a
It
classic.
is.
It's like a
It
universal.
is. It is a classic. I'll keep my opinion myself for a second, but let's see.
That
Mothman sighting. Okay, we get a Mothman. See, what the thing is with the Mothman thing is like it's always like a predictor of doom, but it's been like hanging around for a few years now. Like, okay, just either the doom comes or you need to just stop scaring us all, Mothman.
yeah.
You know, like you know, or is it that bad? It's gonna take a couple of years of you hanging around to like get everybody's attention before it happens. Yeah, I had a feeling Chicago Mothman would win. Moth dude. Yeah, I figured that was gonna be the overwhelming. Let's see if we get any other votes.
I have the sound that Sherry posted a video of a bear death moan. I've seen this video prior to this, but I have the sound queued up.
Yeah, go for it. Let's hear it. Sounds so sad.
Well, he got shot with an arrow and he is dying.
Oh, that's horrible. Now, can you play the other one? Can you find the other one and compare it?
Where is it?
It should be, excuse me, number 2 in the best of Bigfoot.
There we go.
They don't sound the same, but you're hearing this at a distance.
Yeah,
The people recording the bear were close.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
But I still don't think it sounds
Yeah.
like a bear. That sounds like screams.
This, the thing about
howls.
Bigfoot and the screaming though is you hear them always talk about the knocks, and it seems like they talk through whistles and knocks, like really like things that can be missed in the woods. They don't usually you don't seem like they're out there screaming their heads off, because that's how they don't get found. If this is a Bigfoot making the sounds, why? What do you think would go against their nature?
I don't know if it's a Bigfoot,
Yeah.
but I just don't know.
You would think it would go against
is.
their nature to do that. That's the bear. Yeah, it sounds different. It does sound different. I don't know.
That sounds like a cat.
Yeah.
I mean, it has more of like a cow
very similar to a
it,
cow.
Where this sounds like a scream.
Yeah, I think it was a little girl that shot that bear too. It was her first bear.
Oh man, don't shoot the bears. Come on, man.
Sick.
Sorry, I know people are hunters. I come from a family of
Your
hunters.
stuff
I'm just
died.
not into it, and
Yeah, my family hunts a lot.
I'm not like a vegetarian or anything. I'm like just not into going out and killing animals. Not
Yeah,
I'll eat
I don't
them.
want him to die.
Yeah, let somebody else do the killing. I'm that kind of. I'm getting with that, right? I'm not judgmental of hunters. I'm eating food. I'm eating meat. You go for it. You're gonna go kill a bear. I couldn't do it. I couldn't look at the bear and do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Killing Winnie the Pooh.
They had to go kill their own cow to eat a hamburger. Probably a lot of people wouldn't eat meat.
Oh yeah, that's when I lived on a cow ranch. I made the mistake of walking to the barn time I shouldn't have.
Here's my
and
prediction.
I did not eat meat for a very long time.
Well, my prediction for 2021 is that we're going to have more of that artificial meat.
Not me.
I don't know if it's coming in 2021 or not, but it's coming soon, where McDonald's is going to have the totally artificial meat hamburger. Not vegetable hamburger. It's going to be artificial meat.
Nope, not me.
It's coming. It's coming. I don't know if it's going to happen in 2021, but it's coming soon.
I see that in the grocery store already.
Meat on a stick.
It's like I just pass it. Nope.
It's coming. It's coming.
I'll either
we've been talking about it at the beginning of World Wide Web of Weird. We've been talking about how the price of it was like $100,000 for the first hamburger they ever made. Now it's down to about $10 for a hamburger. So they've manufactured, the process is coming down. So would you eat meat on a stick? You can call in and tell us about that. We're going to continue after the commercial break, the best of the World Wide Web of Weird. But we might take your phone calls in between all that. If you want to call in, we'll take a break from it. I'll open up the phone lines. I'm only going to have 2 of the phone lines open, I realize, because I need my other phone to read for these articles, and I don't want you interrupting it. So it'll be the 219-230-4444 or Skype ID oojblandoo. Those will be the 2 ways to call in tonight. Tell us what was the weirdest moment for you in 2020, and what do you expect out of 2021? I'd love to hear your thoughts of the past year and your thoughts what the new year's to come. Join the conversation. We're going to go to our commercial break, though. It'll be short. We'll be right back.
He is conducting an experiment into the combined effects of sensory deprivation and hallucinatory drugs. The subject of the experiment is himself, and the experiment is out of control. Ken Russell's Altered States, a film that must not be missed, is in the West End now. Altered States, Certificate X.
Do you wish for more paranormal and spiritual content? The Paranormal Chronicles magazine is a free digital magazine crammed with the very best in paranormal and spiritual articles and features. No sign-up, no subscription, just free reading and knowledge for you. Read today at www.paranormalchronicles.com/magazine.
Oh, come on. I'm Southern, but... Nope.
That'll do. Hello. I am Kat Hobson, host of Paranormal Experience here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. I enjoy having guests from all areas of the paranormal, from ghosts to ufology to cryptids and beyond. You'll find some of the best researchers in their fields bringing you some great information. Join me on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 p. Eastern here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
The night is alive. Join us and take a walk on the weird side when you tune in to the Kingdom of Nye, hosted by Heather Wade, the finest in late night talk. Listen live free weeknights starting at 9 p.m. Pacific time at thekingdomofnye.com, talkstreamlive.com, and the Paranormal Radio app. Wanna take a ride?
Join us every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time for Weird Wednesday, the live stream, with your hosts Jamie, the Living Dead Girl, and Rob, the Phantom, where we'll talk about all things paranormal, including zodiac, astrology, tarot card and oracle card readings, live ghost boxing and spirit communication, where we'll do Voices from Beyond, the Cold Case Files. So we hope you join us live on Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time. We hope to see you there. Bye-bye.
Paranation Magazine is a new paranormal magazine based out of Denver, Colorado. Our goal isn't just to give you the best paranormal content out there, but to promote paranormal unity. We're doing this by giving everyone an opportunity to tell their stories and to share their experiences. For more information, follow us on Facebook at Paranation Magazine and soon, paranationmag.com.
I've Never Met a Dead Person I Didn't Like is the extraordinary travels of a young, alone, and broke psychic in the highly anticipated new book from internationally renowned psychic, medium, medical intuitive, and best-selling author Sherry Dillard. Critics have described I've Never Met a Dead Person I Didn't Like as an engrossing memoir, an empowering story of how a broken girl came to accept her psychic gift, a refreshing and fun read. I've Never Met a Dead Person I Didn't Like is available through Amazon, Kindle, Barnes & Noble, and wherever books are sold.
Tired of school?
Who was Joan of Arc?
Noah's wife? Like to travel?
Let's go back into history. Let's reach out and touch someone.
Want to meet people in the past?
Put them in the Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden? Excellent! Execute them. Otis.
Then hitch a ride with George Carlin, Keanu Reeves, and Alex Winter in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure from Orion Pictures.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from Talkstream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Where you could accept the fact that this city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportion.
What do you mean, biblical?
What he means is Old Testament, Mr. Mayor. Real wrath of God type stuff.
Exactly.
Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling.
40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes.
The dead rising from the grave. Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria.
You're listening to Paranormal Soup, bringing you the weird every Sunday night. Call into the show and join the discussion. The call-in lines are 219-230-4444 or 260-225-9419, or by Skype caller ID Jblandoo or Jblandparanormalsoup. And now to your host, Jason Bland.
Tonight on Paranormal Soup is our end of the 2020, last show for Paranormal Soup of the year 2020, the end of 2020. That's what we're going to celebrate tonight, right? Because this year sucked. As simply as put it, this year sucked. But there was a lot of weird, so we're covering our past World Wide Web weird stories and best of categories. And, I don't say I get the greatest evidence of the paranormal on my show. I don't. I search the web just like everybody else does, and I find stuff that's interesting. Some of our articles tonight that we've covered, some are videos and evidence, some are just interesting stories. This is the best of that topic, and I'm letting the audience vote in the chat room. This isn't us counting votes, really, but just seeing what the majority of people are saying is the best of those. And maybe there was better articles I covered this year, and I just didn't realize it. There was a lot. We do a lot every Sunday, 7 articles. World Wide Web of Weird. If you're new to the show, that's what we do. We usually have guests on too, but tonight you're the guest, the audiences in the chat room, and those who call in. Now I do have 2 lines open. I'm keeping the other 2 closed for the moment. So if you're going to call in, 219-230-4444 or Skype ID Jblandoo. That's Jblandoo. Call in, join the discussion. Tell me what was your weirdest moment in 2020 for you, and what do you believe 2021 is going to bring us? Your future prediction, whatever, bring it. Let's hear. Join the conversation. But let's go ahead and get back to the show. All right, already got a caller here. We'll take this call before we get into the next segment, I think. We'll just start this out because I was hoping to hear from him. How you doing tonight, Marcus?
Hey, long time no here. First of all, order of business. How was your Christmas? Did you have a good one?
I did. I am known by a lot as a kind of a bah humbug. But I've gotten more into it as my phone lines are blowing up here. I'm going to have to open up the other one. But I've become more into Christmas having children, having Dean 9 years ago. It definitely got me more into the Christmas spirits, but working retail is it killed it for me a long time ago. But I enjoy watching them. I enjoy watching them open their presents. I enjoy watching them with the wonder and awe of Christmas and Santa and all that.
Having a young kid or two is enough to pry the bah humbug away from most people's eyes. So good for you. I'm glad you and yours had a good one.
How was your Christmas, Marcus?
Actually, for a shut-in in a nursing home, not too bad. My caretakers are the best people, and they've become my surrogate family. One of them and her daughters put together a care package with a sinfully soft and cushy, decadent comforter that's warmer than some Arctic blankets I've had. Retire into the warmth and die, because you're not going to get cushier than that. And another one of my caregivers gave me a model tugboat with a little white Christmas tree light that screws into the hole, and you flip a switch and it lights up and it makes a wonderful Christmas ship. And where that came from was we used to go to the annual Christmas ship display that Portland had here. One half went to the Willamette River and the other to the Columbia River. And we got out to see that largely because I came up with the idea, and they put together the tour bus and a driver and a couple of CNAs to take care of us. And it was delightful. Number one, just to get out of the place for a while, but to see those beautiful Christmas ships, and some of them were fantastically well lit up and decorated. but the coronavirus hit, and we were by state order shut down.
Yep.
So one of our supporters anonymously sent in a miniature tugboat, and Pam thought to herself, I know who's going to get this. So she brought it over Christmas morning, unpacked it, found a white Christmas tree light, plugged it in, and later on, one of our taller CNAs reached up and plugged it into the wall. And for the last couple of days, I've had my very own personal Christmas ship. So this has really been a marvelous Christmas.
Sometimes it's the small things. Now, I got the phone lines blowing up, Marcus, so we only got a minute or two here. You want to talk about what you think for 2021 or your weirdest moment of 2020?
Weirdest moment it could be for 2021. I don't know. Did I get a copy of the 2020 Tempe original Christmas video greeting to you?
No, I don't think so.
You cannot consider this Christmas complete without one. Tell you what, you email me your mailing address to marcustempe@gmail.com, and I promise you, I will send you a Christmas greeting that should at least put a smile on your face.
All right.
So, Merry Christmas
Merry
to all
Christmas.
you and your
Merry
guys.
Christmas, Marcus.
Happy New Year.
You. If we should live that long, yes.
Yeah,
but
right. We still got a few more days for an asteroid to come.
hey, consider this, though. The thing that eats at me about the bear growls or Sasquatch, we just don't have the information. And frankly, I don't see a way unless we start stringing the woods up with cameras and motion detectors and hidden microphones. How are we going to get the evidence to decide?
Yeah. That's a big, and they're arguing if it's a interdimensional or it's a real creature. I mean, I don't know.
Oh God, if we kind of throw the UFO aliens into this, I'm telling you, all bets are off.
All bets are off. All right, Marcus, I got the phone lines blowing up. You have a happy New Year and again, Merry Christmas.
Thank you. My best to all of you good folks. Thank you.
Have a good one, Marcus.
Hey.
All right, the phone lines are blowing up. If I hang up on you, because I only got the one phone line open, either for Skype or the phone line, 219-230-4444, Skype ID oojblandoo. It's all on the same phone, so I have to hang up on you if you call on Skype or the phone. I got somebody else on. So just try back. Like Marcus is off. You can try again. So somebody trying here. Sometimes I'll try to call them back. They've been trying to call. Zach tried calling, I think, on Skype. Like, I only got the phone line open because we're still doing the World Wide Web, a weird best of. So we'll move on to that while I might take another call and heap them on hold while you go through this. So best of aliens UFO. All right. So first one. Yeah, we covered in late 2019 a lot of the South American UFO wave that seemed to be going on. And at the end of that, we got some really interesting I have two ones here from Colombia that were really interesting. This first one, Coast to Coast AM, is a UFO reportedly landing in Colombia in the Val del Cauca. Did you say that? I don't know. Probably butchering that. Somebody gets a footage of this thing landing. Let me get the screen share up. Go ahead. All right, go ahead and play it. This is the first one from Colombia. We'll name this Colombia 1, and the other one will be Colombia 2. So this is one that's might be landing. You'll see it go down the forest. I do some zoom ins. Remember, there was the crash we had in 2019 in Brazil. I'm going to have to get the phone line soon because they're blowing up, Dean. See, I don't know. I cut the audio off on this one, I believe, because there's a lot. It's just Brazil or Colombia, whatever they're speaking. I don't know, Spanish. I don't know. But you see this thing go down in the tree line. And I think I have a zoom in of this. I did. Now, could it have been a helicopter maybe landing there? They didn't realize it was. I don't know. The zoom in, it looks pretty odd. Yeah, I think I zoom in here when it goes down in the forest. Might be hard to see on here. I don't know. You see it go down. It's over there in the right corner, down to the forest tree line. Oh, there's the audio.
Susi! Sana! Hidayah!
I really like the UFO videos that are from other countries. I really do. Feel more honest. I don't know.
I always feel that way.
All right, let's move on to the Columbia 2. This would be the our number 2 in the best of UFO. This one was also in Columbia. This is one I got from Unexplained Mysteries. This was from May 7th, and this was like a triangle one, very similar to that Batman one. Maybe, I don't know, but this is weird. This is another video. This was May 3rd by YouTube user OM, shows object which resembles a triangular wedge shape moving from left to right up and above the trees. I thought it was a kite, but it flew slowly in straight lines. See, he thought it was a kite like that one. Go ahead. Then we got a phone call to get here soon. Just hang on if you're on the line there, Zach. Just hang on. I'll get you in a second. If you're calling in, I'm hanging up on you. Sorry. This is just try after I get through with the next caller. Might mute that. There's music in the background of that. Didn't realize that. This guy films it. Again, this is another one. It was not long before or after this, the first Columbia story, because this was May 3rd. I think the other one was, February? This is seemed like to be the end of the UFO wave in South America, at least a lot of the stuff that I saw. But I love the UFO waves. And there was a whole one. It went from 2019, about ended here. These were the last of some of the evidence I got from that UFO wave in South America. So we can either vote on Columbia 1 or Columbia 2, but we got more. Let's move on because we got somebody waiting online here. Of course, I always talk about the scariest UFO videos to me are the ones on passenger planes. This was from September 4th on Coast to Coast AM. Airline passenger admiring the view from her window seat could not believe her eyes when she caught sight of a curious object in the sky that resembled a classic flying saucer. August 20th, around 11:30 a.m. Go ahead and play this. Oh, a little bit loud. Turn it down. Yeah, it's shooting through. I don't think it's a bird. It might be hard for you guys to see, but imagine seeing something flying through the sky. It could be another plane, but it really didn't look like it. I don't know. She thinks it's a UFO. Does look like silver discus, but I don't know. But that's the one thing I don't want to see when I'm on an airplane. I want to see UFO, but I don't want to see when I'm on an airplane.
Why
Nope,
not
nope.
an airplane? No, why? It's like a closer view, you know.
Yeah, I mean, either way.
The fifth article on this for the best of, I'm gonna save till after the phone call and we'll make our votes. Let's move on to the next one. This one's strange. This was another one I was featured on Coast to Coast, and I think I forgot the YouTube channel. UFO witness convinced they were seeing something alien in the sky. This is shaped as a key. This is probably definitely wins the weirdest shaped UFO for 2020. Yeah. The object flew parallel to our heads. It was approximately 300 feet away. And it was moving. Go ahead and play the video. There's a left is the actual footage and the right is the zoom in of it. Look at it. It looks like a total shaped key. What could that be?
It's a floating blow-up doll.
Look, you can almost see through it. It looks like a shaped key in the sky.
It does.
Like a skeleton key or something.
Yeah. What the heck could that be?
I can't remember what I thought the first time.
All right. We're going to say the last one because the last one's kind of, I'll admit, my favorite. It's not of UFO evidence. It's a UFO story. We'll get to that because the phone lines are blowing up. So I want to take this next call before we get to that and we'll make our vote. We got Zach on the line. How you doing tonight, Zach?
I'm just glad to be here tonight, brother. Past the last 2 days after Christmas have been pretty rough for me.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Here's to a new year, right? New things. Let's hope. New good things.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Okay. So, all right. So the weird story that I have I got two weird stories. I'll let you pick which one that I'll tell. There's the one about my dog that passed away this year, or there's my own little personal COVID story. Which one are you more interested in hearing?
The dog one, since I lost my dogs this year.
Okay. So last June, unfortunately, I had to put my mini doxy over to sleep.
So sorry.
And the day after she passed, I remember I was walking out into my living room, and there's the foyer right there that leads to the front door. My Chihuahua mix, her name is Daisy. She was sitting out there, and all of a sudden she gets up, she sees me walking by, and all of a sudden she just starts barking like crazy. And there's nobody else right near me, and I'm looking at her. I'm like, "What are you barking at?" And my mother is a little bit more sensitive, I guess you can say. And she's like, "Oh, well, she was probably seeing Penelope right next to you." And at that time, I was still heartbroken. I was still upset. And I'm like, "Oh, well, that's nice to know that, you know, she's still around." Well, flash forward to a couple weeks ago. I was actually out in my backyard. I was watching another show, enjoying a cigar. And I turn around and I look by one of the plants that we have out here, and I see the outline of the dog running towards me. Now, whenever my doxy would run, she would bounce whenever she would run and all that. And I saw that exact movement. She was moving right towards me, and she disappeared right in front of me. And ironically, the show that I was watching there was an animal psychic that was on the show that night. And I think something related to that corresponded really with me seeing the apparition of my dog right near me. And I'm like, that's validation enough for me. So that's really I guess I could say that's probably the best positive experience that I've had so far this year with everything that's been going on.
Yeah, I had that kind of experience with both of my pets passing. It was sad, but it was also eye-opening in a way. Know they're still with us. I've had that experience now with all my pets in some way or form. So yeah, and it reminds me, there was a video we covered on the World Wide Web Weird a couple of years ago. Remember the translucent dog that comes running down the hall? They caught on video.
I remember that.
Remember that? Yeah, and they looked like their pet. I thought that was some really good, solid proof. Well, thank you, Zach, for calling in. You have a happy new year. Hope 2021 is better to you and better to all of us, really.
All right, man. I'm going to raise my whiskey glass up to you. Say, have a happy new
coffee.
year.
Happy New Year.
Cheers, brother.
All right. So phone lines are still open. I will take your calls, but you'll just be on hold. You'll be on hold until I get you, because we got to get to this last part of the UFO thing before we forget all the ones for this category. So this last one's an article, is my favorite. Maybe it won't be yours. From singular14.com. Love the website. Demi Lovato and Miley Cyrus report an individual incident involving UFOs. Pop stars and friends Demi Lovato and Miley Cyrus each reported individual incidents involving UFOs this month. The incidents were reported separately, but within days of each other. So far, no apparent connection exists between what the two women reported, despite their close relationship. I have a connection. I don't know.
Drugs are bad.
Okay. Lovato was the first to share her experience, which included a video. We don't have that right. We're not going to show her video. I'm sorry. She did have a video, but I'm not going to post it. She wrote, "The past few days I've spent in the Joshua Tree with a small group of locals." And her story is really lame. It's about hanging out with Steve Greer and seeing UFOs. I want to get to Miley's story. All right. Cyrus's experience, which was published 2 days later. This is the best part. I'm skipping. Sorry, Demi Lovato. Your story's lame. You're hanging out with Stephen Greer, whatever. You're going to have an experience, I guess. All right. But Miley steals the cake on this one. "I was driving through San Bernardino with my friend, and I got chased down by some sort of UFO," she told Owens. "I'm pretty sure about what I saw, but I also brought weed wax from a guy in a van in front of a taco shop." From a guy in a van in front of a taco shop. Okay. All right. So it could have been the weed wax, but the best way to describe it is a flying snowplow. That's the new one. It had this big plow in the front of it. It was glowing yellow. Would it be a snowplow in California? I'll give her that. So I don't know. There were a couple other cars on the road, and they also stopped to look. So I think what I saw was real. Cyrus said the experience left her shaken for like 5 days. Like 5 days. I couldn't really look at the sky the same, though I thought they might come back. Despite that, Cypress said that she didn't feel threatened by the experience. "I didn't feel threatened at all, actually, but I did see a being sitting in the front of the flying object. It looked at me, and we made eye contact. I think what really shook me looking into its eyes of something I couldn't quite wrap my head around. But you're so right to say that it's form of narcissism to think we're the only things that could be in this vast universe. That it is unknown what Cyrus' experience took place, or who her friend was, whom she referenced in her story. That her friend obviously saw it too. See, I'm missing a call, but it's not like picking up. Hold on, let me see if I can take.
Ariana's trying to call in.
The part
I
that
know.
blew me away about the Miley story is she's obviously a millionaire, and she's buying weed wax from a dude in a taco.
Right? Doesn't she have like assistants for that? I mean, if she's in California, she can go to a shop, right? I mean, she can just buy it, but no, she's got to get it from the guy selling out a van in front of the taco shop. That's where you get it from. That's because you're going to see aliens. That's how good that stuff is.
Maybe she knows.
All right.
You know.
Let's go back to our UFO aliens. So we had the first Columbia 1 UFO, the UFO landing. Then we had Columbia 2, which is a triangular UFO. Then we had the airplane UFO. Then we had the key-shaped UFO. And then we have the great, wonderful UFO experience of Miley Cyrus. Really, Demi Lovato's was lame. But Miley Cyrus's was awesome. So what's your pick, people? Is it the Miley Cyrus story, the key UFO, the plane UFO, the ones from Colombia?
You know what I'm going with.
Airplane. Yeah, the airplane would be freaky. The airplane would be freaky. Like I said, I'm always scared of the airplane. Airplane UFO.
Kind of a tough pick because the one landing was pretty cool, but the airplane was cool. The key is just weird.
Key-shaped UFO, yeah, that's what Sherry's voted on. That is weird. Like what the stuff that's not just your typical UFO really perplexes me sometimes. Like, what is it?
Yeah.
Columbia UFO. Yeah, see, I like the UFO wave, and that was like the end of that South American UFO wave. Those two videos that were right within days of each other. Not this. You're behind, Lori. The Screams in the Forest was the Bigfoot one. I just know my kid's dad is going to be hanging out with Hitler. Okay, I totally jumped in the conversation on that one. Jetpacking key. He thinks a guy in a jetpack. We did have the jetpack guy. We didn't add that in. We had several stories this year of the jetpack guy, whoever that is. And there's another sighting of him just recently. Key. I don't know. It seems up in the air. Nobody's voting for the Miley story? That's my vote. That made my day.
Yeah. I mean, for pure comedic relief, I got to go with weed wax.
No, real evidence. Her personal experience there is evidence.
And the fact that I think what I saw was real.
What was the weed wax from the guy in a van in front of the
I
taco
think
shop?
it might have been laced with a little something.
Yeah, she was tripping balls.
This one seems up in the air. I see a lot of people voting for the airplane one. I'd have to say the airplane one. I think I've seen more votes for that. All right, we got maybe is Ariana. I know somebody's been trying to call in. I called them back. Who do we got on the 860 phone line?
This is Ariana.
Hey, hon. Thank you for calling in. Sorry. Yeah, I only got the one line open right now.
Yeah. Well, a couple of things I wanted to say was, well, congratulations on 5 years, going on 6.
Yep.
I love the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. Also, I think for this year, you were asking about the weirdest or something about this year.
Yeah. What was your weirdest moment in 2020?
Well, since the beginning of the year, the veil has been down almost since the veil has gone down so thin that I'm overwhelmed with spirit, ghosts, loved ones, things like that. And I see shadow people and shadow animals and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe something opened up with this and that everything's trying to let's say cross over or be heard or seen.
There's something going
on. My
on.
opinion. Yeah.
Something.
Definitely. And my second comment was that I have cats. I've had a lot of cats, and the ones that passed have always come back to visit me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of awesome.
It is.
You know, and sad at the same time. So, you know, I feel for you. You know, I do.
Well,
but,
I lost my.
You know, you gotta.
I lost
you
my
know.
cat my cat Patches long time ago. To this year, I lost my dogs. That was hurtful. But I experienced just Asia, the sounds of Asia. I didn't see Bella or anything, even though I felt her. I did feel like the presence of Bella right after she passed. Like I could just feel her. I don't know how else to describe it. And I could feel Asia. I just knowing that she's there, and I heard her. You know. But when I saw my cat Patches, that was years ago, and it was so real. I mean, I could almost see her. I almost felt like if I was afraid to, because I was afraid she'd just disappear. So I didn't want to ruin the moment. I just sat there and talked to her. But I wanted to reach out. I felt like I could touch her. Like I swear to God, if I reached out, I would have felt her.
Yeah. Weird little story. One of my cats, I had a black, well, she was long tail.
Mm-hmm.
And when she passed on the bathroom floor when we found her. And anyway, after, her shape was imprinted on that bathroom floor since then.
Like the outline of her?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And whenever I would walk past that, you know, I would hear her or see her.
Yeah.
You know, and so she was pretty much she was one of my shapeshifter cats anyway. So she was a little bit different. So,
Cats are, man. Like, I mean, just think about, like, you know, how the Egyptians worshiped the cat, you know, not worship, I don't know what to say, but respected the cat. And they, you know, they thought to keep away bad spirits. And there's something spiritual about cats. And I think they have like this, I don't know, this power when they cross over. You know, I've been on so many haunted locations where people said that they reported the cat that had lived there died and is still around. You know, people experiencing ghost cats. And I mean, it just seems like they have that ability.
Yes, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah, so she's still up there. So, you know, I think about her all the time. So, you know,
any predictions for 2020?
Many other cats that have passed. So,
you got any predictions for 2021?
I hope this all goes away, and I hope that people get awoken, if that's the right term, to, you know, to spiritual side, to things that are on the other side, to opening your mind to different things and maybe seeing and hearing messages, you know, good things.
Well, keep telling people about.
I think that.
So keep telling people about Paranormal
Soup. Something like that, you know, to change the course.
Well, that's why I do the show. That's why I do the show, is to open people's minds to the things they do not see happening around them every day. I think so much happens spiritually around people, you know, with spirit, and you know, that they don't realize it. They don't see it. So many people don't understand it. They just write it off. They don't realize that something is happening around them, that the spirit is trying to communicate with them. I think that happens a lot, and people don't realize it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So congratulations again. I'll let someone else talk. I won't hog up the phone there. But congratulations to Jamie, Rob, and you, Jason.
Thank you.
And may you all be blessed, and your families and pets and animals and everything else like that.
Well, have a happy new year and a good 2021 to come.
Okay. Thank you. You too.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Oh, thought I saw somebody else trying to call in right when she was hanging up, because that was her. She was 860, right? Oh, let's see. We just crashed the. Let's see if I can call that person back, maybe. See if we can take another phone call before we go to another category. I'm trying to call back somebody I think just tried to call in. 406, you tried calling in the show?
Yes, I did. Hey, Jason, this is Mike Montana.
Hey, Mike. I thought that was you. I'm like, I'm calling him back. It popped up like right after I get off the phone. Hey, man, how you been?
Pretty good. I had a weird incident February 7th, about 1 o'clock in the morning here this past February. My experience was my wife and I encountered what we consider a shapeshifter or a skinwalker or something of that effect. I thought I had told you about this once before, but
maybe it sounds familiar.
Yeah, it was snowing pretty heavy that day, and it kept snowing into the night. And I was in the basement listening to a show. And about 1 in the morning, all of a sudden, the door sounded like somebody pounded on the door. So I'm thinking 1 o'clock in the morning, heavy snow. I better grab my pistol just in case.
Right.
And I get up to the top of the steps. My wife's standing there with hers in her hand. And I'm like, what the heck? And she goes, that was loud. And I said, yeah, it had to be for me to hear it in the basement. She said, don't open the door. She's looking out the windows and she didn't see anything. So I swung the door open and there wasn't nobody there. And she started down one side of the house and I started down the other side of the house looking out windows. We didn't see any tracks in the snow or anything, just a few dog tracks.
Yeah.
And we got to the last window, or I got to my last window on my side of the house, and I saw this man from a distance walking towards the house from across the field. And I told my wife, I don't know who this guy is, but he's crazy for one, being out at minus 10 degrees, snowing
One
like
in the
crazy.
morning.
And he's walking towards us. I said, I don't even know what the heck's going on here. So my wife and I basically went to the door and watched him walk across the field. The house was dark. There was no lights on except the outside porch lights on. And he got up to where the tree line was about 30 yards away. And he disappeared behind this larger tree. We have pretty good sized cottonwoods. And I was watching him. My wife was watching. And she finally went to another window to see if she could see him better from an angle. And she didn't see him, and I didn't see him for about 15 seconds. And this huge dog, biggest dog I've seen in next to an overbred mastiff. This thing was huge. So basically, I was like, what the heck? Where'd that dog come from? And I told my wife, keep an eye on that tree. And I ran to the other side of the house to see where the dog went because it was heading around the house. And I couldn't see it. So by the time I got to the other end of the house, swung the door open, stepped out onto the porch with my pistol. This dog stepped out from behind the truck.
Oh, man.
And I saw its ears. I've got a F-250 jacked up, and I saw its ears on the other side of the truck.
So this is like
I
a
knew
dire
it had to
wolf.
be close.
Seems
This
huge.
was like a 5 foot tall animal.
Oh my God.
To the tips of its ears. And
You
probably
encrypted
weighed
story
about
of the
100.
year. You were
50.
encrypted story of the year, man. Wow.
So that popped out on me, and I pointed the gun dead at it.
Yeah.
And my wife finally came up behind me, and I said, basically, you don't belong here. You need to leave. And it just stared at me for a second, and then it walked off into the snow. And I turned and looked at my wife. She said, he acted like he understood you, like he was a human. I said, he is human. I shut the door and locked it, and stayed up all night pretty much.
You
And
guys pretty
so,
isolated where you're at too?
Yeah, I'm in northeast Montana. There's
Yeah.
nothing out here.
Wow, Mike.
The nearest town is 20 miles. Nearest town is 20 miles away. So
wow.
May
Yeah,
I ask, were there footprints left in the snow?
Yeah, after that?
Yeah, I was just about to get to that. After the animal left, I decided, got a little nerve, grabbed my flashlight and a shotgun with 2 slugs in it, and went out to see, behind that tree. And sure enough, when I got there was a pile of clothes. And
What?
it looked like somebody squatted down on their hands and knees, and that's where the dog tracks started, right there.
Wow.
And I was like, what the heck? So I didn't grab the clothes at first. I just went back to the house. I called the next morning. I waited till early morning. I called the sheriff's department and asked for a deputy to come out. I explained what happened to him, and he said he would investigate, but he didn't act like he was really, he didn't act like he didn't believe me, but he didn't act like that I was talking some strange stuff either. Basically, he was just kind of like, okay, yeah, whatever. And he went out there and he looked, and he didn't, act like he'd seen anything or done anything. So they never got back to me. But I went out there the next evening, like 23 hours later, just to see for myself, because I was going to grab the clothes. I figured,
Yeah.
at least that's evidence. I went out there and to grab the clothes. They were gone. And I saw boot prints coming from the far end of the field all the way to that tree. No wavering in left or right. Straight to that tree, and then they turned around and went straight back.
See, if you're a werewolf or shapeshifter
later or whatever.
I mean, if you're a werewolf or
this is.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I met the shapeshifter in September.
Really?
It's a long story. You don't have time for it all.
I don't, but I want to hear it.
In a sense, one of my friends, Nate, on a reservation, passed away. What I was told by the family was they wanted me to go to South Dakota. We had to do a ceremony there, and I was invited because I was a close friend of his. So his family invited me to South Dakota. That's where I met the shapeshifter and the family. Apparently there's a gene that part of the family carries. It's recessed, but when it does happen, a shapeshifter is born. And they know, the ones that are shapeshifters know. And what they did is they came out here to find the baby that had just been born the night before. And this house used to be, my friend that passed away, this used to be his house. So he thought this was a safe place to come to and rest up until, he could go find that baby. So I met this guy, and I didn't believe it at first until his hand changed right in front of me. He just did like a little from hand to paw.
Wow.
And then he stopped it and went back to his hand, and I looked at him and I was like, stop, run. I was like, but the man's cousin, who was another good friend of mine, said, it's okay. They won't hurt you. It's just something they can do.
Well, it's if they exist, they're going to go live out in remote areas.
All this, but I don't, And so I learned that's how there's not, how do I explain this? Out of 10,000.
Right. It skips many generations.
That are in this. Well, not many.
Just one family.
There's about 40 of them. Well, they're not just one family there. The gene they've been here for 160 years. And the gene has been passed through family marriages, this, that, and the other. But there's always at least 3 or 4 at any given time that are alive. Now there's approximately 40. Now they don't hurt people. They have nothing to do with, stalking people or nothing, but
it would explain a lot of sightings.
That's 2020 right there.
That's the weirdest story of 2020 I've gotten here.
I don't even know how to explain it.
No, definitely, Mike. That is definitely the weirdest story. So thank you so much for calling and sharing. We got to talk more about this one too. We got to talk more on another night on this for sure.
Thank you.
All right, man. Have a happy new year, man.
You too, Jason.
All right. You guys might hear the sounds of my demon children upstairs right now. They're not asleep, obviously. This happens when they're on winter break. All right, we're gonna move on to our next category here. There's two choices for best of weird Florida. Okay, we got 2 stories. They actually came around at the same time. They were this was part of my What the Hell Florida segment once I did earlier this year. First one, let's pull this up. Hold on, pull up the story. All right, so this first one, what was it posted here? This was from February 27th. Let me get the share screen up. Should be best of Florida. So, Florida hospital worker accused of sucking patient's toes. This is our first up for Florida. These take the cake, really. Florida hospital worker is behind bars after authorities said he sucked on patient's toes. This is him right here in the picture. France Beldorin, 23, a sitter at Fort Myers Gulf Coast Hospital, was arrested Tuesday on a charge of battery on senior citizen. Lee County Sheriff deputies said. Deputies said the victim, who had been sleeping, awoke late Monday after something came in contact with the patient's foot. The victim later felt moisture on their toes and saw Beldorin kneeling beside the bed. The patient alerted a nurse, and deputies arrived to investigate the case, according to the news outlet. Beldorin was booked at Lee County jail, authorities said. That's all they got to cover. But he was sucking on. This is like during COVID, too. This is when COVID was like going on, and they're starting to lock things down. And this guy's going around sucking on nursing home patients' toes. So that's first runner up. All right, it's between him and this other one. This one's pretty brutal. Florida woman allegedly zipped boyfriend in suitcase, leaving him to die. And she videotaped it. Now, I'm not going to ever play the video of it. I didn't when we first did this story. A Florida woman was arrested Tuesday for allegedly zipping her boyfriend in a suitcase and leaving him to die, all while taunting him on video. Sarah Boone, 42, told detectives she was playing a game of hide and seek with her partner, Jorge Torres Jr., on Monday while drinking alcohol. Oh, big surprise. She said they agreed it would be funny if Torres hopped in a blue suitcase in her home outside of Orlando. But she claimed to have forgotten all about him, about the human cargo, falling asleep in her bed for hours before realizing Torres was still inside, according to the report. Boone said she woke up to her cell phone ringing and went to go check on Torres, also 42, only to find him unresponsive and not breathing. She called 911 after that afternoon, and police responded to find Torres dead. Cops said there was a small cut on Torres's lips and bruising around his eyes, and that they retrieved 2 videos from Boone's phone in which he teases Torres as he's trapped in the suitcase. Boone can be heard laughing in one video as Torres calls out her name and says he can't breathe. Yeah, that's what you do when you choke me, Boone said in one of the videos. One video shows the suitcase facing down while Torres is pushing in an attempt to get out. A second shows the luggage in a different position as Torres calls out to Boone. As Torres continues to assert he cannot breathe, Boone continues to mock him in one of the clips. This is what she says. "That's on you. Oh, that's what I feel like when you cheat on me." Deputies told the outlet they decided to arrest Boone after discovering the inconsistencies between her statements and what was captured on camera. I love how these idiot criminals always record themselves. They can't help but record themselves committing the stupidest crime. Drunkenly killing your boyfriend by suffocating him in a suitcase. So that's our 2 Florida stories. Before we get to and maybe we'll save it after the commercial break. So between these 2 Florida stories, we got the man sucking on toes, and we got the woman who killed her boyfriend in a suitcase. Classic Florida man or Florida woman story. What are we going to pick? Sucking on toes or locking a boyfriend in suitcase? What do we got? Yes, it is all horrible, but that's Florida. It's not, no. It's either a zombie eating your face. It's never good. I don't even people thought these were going to be like delightful Florida stories, but there never are. These are the 2 worst ones. All right, so we got one for toe sucking man, definitely. Okay. Anybody else? We got another for the toes.
I'm gonna go with the toes
Suitcase
because it's so gross.
Yeah.
Butthole tickling toe sucker. Okay, there was no butthole tickling that was mentioned, Tyler. But okay, if you want to just expound on that and fantasize about it, you go for it, buddy. Toes. Yeah, I had a feeling that's what it was going to be. That's what I had a feeling it was going to be. You can still call in, people, 219-230-4444 or Skype ID oojblandoo. Phone lines are open.
Yeah, that's just nasty.
Any weird Florida stuff you can think of that that you thought could have been in this contest? There's only 2 that I found that I really covered this year.
Oh, I know. I mean, there's tons, but the toe sucking is just nasty, man. I mean, it's one thing for toe sucking, but to be in a nursing home sucking some elderly person's toes, that's just demented.
This is the one person on Earth there was probably wondering, like, do you get COVID through the toes? It's before he was worried about it. It was February 2020, I guess.
elder abuse for real.
Oh
though.
yeah.
I mean, I'm
For
laughing,
real.
but that is like total elder abuse. It is so creepy.
But well, like what? Yeah, I mean, so
I would
people
be
are.
livid if I had a family member and found out some dude was sucking my family
Where's the
member.
fetish there? Like that's got to be some kind of weird fetish for somebody.
definitely.
My strange addictions. I have a strange addiction. I like to suck on elderly people's toes.
Suckle.
You know.
Well, you can only get the toes. Those are the easiest toes to get,
Yeah, they can't run from you.
or they're sedated.
Why?
I don't know if it was Florida or not, but the one you did on the doorbell licker that licked the doorbell for 3 hours, that was pretty hardcore.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if that was Florida. I don't remember, but did I? I don't. Was that 2020? The doorbell licker? I didn't run across it in my World Wide Web of weird sections. I think that was 2019.
Okay. Well, that one's.
I think that. Oh yeah, he like sat there, and that was towards the end of 2019. The guy just sat there and like licked the doorbell camera repeatedly. Yeah,
for 3 hours, man. That's like commit.
Dedication.
Yeah.
And it's definitely the toe guy that won that category. We'll save the toe guy. We're gonna go. I'm gonna wait to cover the last segment for the weird people segment because we got what? I got 4 weird people segments. One's a whole group of people. In this segment, we'll talk about the TikTok glitches, but I got 4, and we'll weigh them up against our winner, which is the toe sucker from Florida, and see who's the weirdest. Is the Florida win it all, or does it these other stories from across the world where win it all? We'll get to that. But like I said, your phone lines are open, man. Mike in Montana's story still has got me like
that was a good one.
I'm like, kind of remember if he's called. I don't think he sounded familiar, but then when he started talking about it, I'm like, oh wait, this is a lot more. Him meeting the skinwalker.
Well, that
What?
just happened. I think, like
He
last
said September. Or he said he met the. He said September is when he met the skinwalker, and then the incident happened earlier in the year. But man,
something happened last night too.
you know, I think of like there's just other experiences people have had with people have like revealed themselves as changelings. Like, what we covered once in the World Wide Web of Weird, and this has got to be a couple years old now, is Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins. His story of meeting a reptilian. He's told a couple times, that somebody, a person in the industry revealed themselves as reptilian to him. This is Billy Corgan. I mean, yeah, it's Billy Corgan. He's weird, but he looks like he could be a shapeshifter or something. But, I mean, I actually know people that knew Billy Corgan, and, he's a real person. I mean, it's just like anybody else.
Weird, right?
Yeah, he's just, he has his intricate, but he's actually kind of a normal guy. From the people I do know that know him. So when I heard this story about him seeing that, so they're shapeshifters out there revealing themselves secretly to people. I mean, it sounds, sounds like kind of your skinwalker werewolf, kind of like, I don't know, werewolf, but shapeshifter thing. I don't know.
And until you actually experience something yourself, it's so hard. It's hard for your brain to comprehend it, but you can't rule it out.
I met a foot fetish dude with tats over his back. He was nutso. Yeah, I knew him. We knew a foot fetish guy in my town. He used to real creepy old electrician guy. He had this electrician van all over town. He'd always be at the root beer stand place where all the hot girls would bring food. He's just a perv like that. And then I found out from somebody who worked with him that he would go down to the beach and take pictures secretly of women's feet. He had a foot fetish, and I'm like, God, yeah, he's a up and coming serial killer. Then that's how I look at it.
I got a friend who gets $50 a video for these guys on TikTok now to dip her feet in pudding and stuff. It is so gross. She made her feet into a turkey sandwich one day with fake toenails, with fake fingernails on her toes first. Oh my gosh.
So let me get this straight. Wait. Hold on a second. Back it up there. So you're saying she gets paid to dip her feet in pudding?
Mm-hmm. One video was the foot pudding, and the other one she put her foot on a piece of bread. Then she squirted mayonnaise all over her foot. Oh, first she put the fake nails on, put it on the bread, squirted the mayonnaise, slapped a piece of turkey on it, slapped a piece of bread on it.
Is this by request?
Mm-hmm. They DM her. There's a lot of girls that get paid
I want
for
extra
this
mayonnaise, no tomato on the foot, no tomato. I want extra mayonnaise, lettuce, salami. Put that salami on your foot. I'm just picturing this person DMing her these instructions for their order.
Nails, though. Long artificial nails.
Wow. That might be the weirdest story of 2020. How much is she making?
$50 a video.
Damn.
Some girls are getting up to
How do you get into these
$600
markets?
for some stuff?
Anybody in an ugly foot fetish? Like, I want the ugliest feet. I got the ugliest feet. You want an ugly foot fetish? Pay me $50 to put my foot in some pudding. I'll do it.
When you start talking fetishes, man, people will pay for crazy stuff.
I'll never understand the foot fetish thing. Like, feet are disgusting. I don't get it.
Throw like a little video up on TikTok, show your foot, and then see the DMs coming in.
Not gonna comment on this, but yeah, not gonna comment on that. But yes, yeah. I don't get people with foot fetishes. They got something wrong, man. Something real wrong. Something real wired wrong in their head. I don't know. And speaking of
just the thought of
certain people.
Out.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get the foot fetish thing here at all. Don't forget, guys, the reason we're talking, I want to wait to say the last second. We're going to come up to commercial break, but I will take your phone calls too. The last part, a couple of phone calls I'd like to fit in. If you got anything to add, your weirdest moment of 2020, or what you believe 2021 will bring, your dire predictions of the future, maybe hopeful predictions of the future. My predictions of the future are all dire. They're not good. I don't have a lot of hope. I don't know. I hope. I mean, I saw somebody comment 2021 is just a number. Same beep, different day, different year. I get it. That's how I kind of feel about it. Like I don't see a lot of hope on the horizon. I don't know. But we can speculate. We can hope. I don't know. But I think I've had some great stories tonight for people's weird moments of 2020. So if you got a weird moment of 2020, your weirdest moment of 2020, I'd love to hear it. Tyler, you said you tried calling in. I don't know why it's not letting you through what you're trying to call on. Skype ID Jblandoo or phone line 219-230-4444. The other lines are down. I took them down because I'm having problems with that connection. I see a woman without arms eat before. Okay, well, that's sad, Tyler. Not funny. Pray for the best, prepare for the worst. Yes, Jamie.
There's a fetish for that, though.
Sounds like there's a fetish for everything. That's what I'm saying. Like how do these women? How do the women hook up with the foot and pudding fetish crowd? I'm like, how did she hook up with that crowd? Like, I don't know. Like,
people just DM.
Oh my god!
You just
go through my. You want to see my filtered requests? You want to see the real weird?
Oh boy. Well, we're going to go to commercial break here, our last commercial break. The phone lines will still be open. And we got our last category for Best of the World Wide Web of Weird, and that's weird people. Weird people. There's a lot of weird people, weird fetishes to cover. I picked out my 4 favorites, and we'll compare that against our toe licker from Florida, who wins out as the weirdest person on the World Wide Web of Weird for 2020 when we come back from this short commercial break.
Intercepted transmission of unknown origin.
Transmission? Out here?
SOS.
Human.
Unknown.
Alien. Certificate X. Exclusive engagement at the Odeon Leicester Square. Now.
Any systematized transmission indicating a possible intelligent origin must be investigated.
In space, no one can hear you scream.
If you are interested in discovering the truth about the paranormal and want to hear from leading researchers in the field, join Justin Brown on his 3 weekly shows named My Paranormal Soapbox, Necromancer Live Show, and the Supernatural Symposium, live on Facebook, YouTube, and
This is an APAC studio presentation.
Hi, I'm Barry, owner-operator of Barry's Barometer Bar.
Lately, I bet you've been lying awake at night asking yourself, how many barometers do I really need? Well, at Barry's Barometer Barn, we think you need more than one. Otherwise, we're going to go out of business. Remember, at Barry's Barometer Barn, we don't know the meaning of high-pressure sales. Come on, folks, buy another barometer. I'm trying to put my kids through college. I've got a family to support and a secret mistress who isn't cheap.
Visit Barry's Barometer Barn, 000 Storm Drive. Come on, folks, buy a barometer. I'm Barry's older brother, Larry. And every time one of you people walk past the store without coming in, Barry beats me.
This has been a presentation from Tim Morgan's APAC Studio. For more almost professional amateur comic studio content, visit the APAC YouTube channel. Search APAC 2002. That's APAC 2002 on YouTube.
When Alex Gardner is asleep, he has an extraordinary gift. The government wants it, the scientists want it, but to keep it may cost him his life. It might be better if Alex didn't sleep at all, but he cannot resist entering the dreamscape. Can you? See Dreamscape in the West End and all over London now. Certificate 15. It takes an extraordinary adventurer to enter the dreamscape.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from Talkstream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now. The Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Join us every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time for Weird Wednesday, the live stream, with your hosts Jamie, the Living Dead Girl, and Rob, the Phantom, where we'll talk about all things paranormal, including zodiac, astrology, tarot card and oracle card readings, live ghost boxing and spirit communication, where we'll do voices from beyond the cold case files. So we hope you join us live on Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time. We hope to see you there. Bye-bye.
The night is alive. Join us and take a walk on the weird side when you tune in to the Kingdom of Nye, hosted by Heather Wade, the finest in late night talk. Listen live free weeknights starting at 9 p.m. Pacific time at thekingdomofnye.com, talkstreamlive.com, and the Paranormal Radio app. Wanna take a ride?
Since 1948, Fate Magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Heat 'em up. Do, re, be gone.
You're listening to Paranormal Soup, bringing you the weird every Sunday night. Call into the show and join the discussion. The call-in lines are 219-230-4444 or 260-225-9419. or by Skype caller ID Jblandoo or Jblandparanormalsoup. And now to your host, Jason Bland.
Tonight is our New Year's special, end of 2020 New Year's special into 2021. We're talking. I had some great stories from our callers tonight. We got one waiting on the line right now. The weirdest moments in 2020. Mike Montana's definitely takes the cake. Skinwalker story. I want to hear more about that. I'm going to be thinking about that one a lot tonight. It's so fascinating. That's a whole topic I want to get into. But Mike, you got to email me. Like, write it all out. Email me at. You can always email me at Jbland. Paranormalsoup at gmail.com. JBLAND at paranormalsoup at gmail.com. Email me. I want to hear that story. I want to know more about that. That's so interesting. But what is your weirdest moment of 2020? I will take your calls. We do have somebody waiting online. Probably going to take one or two more calls because we do want to finish out the best of the World Wide Web of Weird. And the last category is the weirdest people. And we have the Florida has their own category for weird people. We got the toe licker one. We're going to face them up against 4 weird stories we covered during the World Wide Web of Weird people. All right, guys, let's get right back into it. Now, like I said, let's go ahead and we got this. We have somebody waiting on the phone line. We got Tyler on the line. How you doing tonight, Tyler?
I was just saying, speaking of weirdos.
I was thinking about you when Mike was talking about his Skinwalker encounter with everything you were trying to get into.
Yeah, I actually sent some 3 pictures to Rob. I don't know if you can access those and screen share those. It's the picture of Wary Road's bridge. I've been doing some research on it, and that's what I've been finding out. I'm back in Wisconsin.
Oh, so you're back in Wisconsin. So now you're going to look into it now that you're back.
Yeah. Yes, I plan on doing about like 4 investigations out there and make it like a 4-part series. I'm gonna do that more in the summertime because it's too cold to do that now. So,
but look, Mike had his encounter. It was in the Montana in the winter. Really cold. Maybe that's when they feel safe enough. I mean, when was it when you had your encounter? Was it winter? When was the season?
No, it was more summertime. The
thing is, what makes me wonder about these encounters like yours and Mike's is if it is a changeling or a shapeshifter, it's a person who shifts into this. Okay, if it is that means like if you've seen them, like the people have always had that encounter where that means there's somebody that lives there that's genetically predisposed to do this. It's just like they're like Bill Bixby and Incredible Hulk, like trying to hide out and stay out of not get noticed, and they have to go streaking as a werewolf or whatever, some kind of creature every full moon or who knows.
This is with the research that I'm doing, I found out there's some witchcraft going on where there's apparent cases where there's been big cats on this bridge. Really? And satanic symbols, and they don't know what witches are doing this around here, and I'm kind of like curious about it, but I'm not gonna like. When I do this investigation, I don't want them knowing about it because I don't want to get creeped out. So I'm just gonna do it randomly, and then like one of the cases, I guess one of the claims is it takes 3 times for Old Man Wary to show up. So that's why I'm gonna do it 4 times. I'm gonna debunk
this one. Goes to 11. No,
You're gonna beat yourself like that?
Yeah. Well, give it. Let me know. Let me know what happens. Yeah. Don't die. All right. Is this one of the pictures, Rob?
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. Can't really see. Pull it up as the main screen.
There's some words. There's like stuff painted on the bridge. There's even some naughty words. I don't know what the last words. There's a naughty word on there too.
Oh, well, you'll have to let me know what your Ruri Road investigations reveal. The big cat thing. Go over see the movie from the 80s called Cat People and make you not want to meet cat people if they exist. They got to sleep with their siblings.
Like I said, I think maybe there's a lot. There's some they could be raising something and
other dimensional demonic entities.
Yeah, but then again, what did I experience is making me question it. So like, you guys with all the research I'm doing, I'm planning on because contaminations could be the hardest thing with this being a road. So I'm gonna use like REM pods, and I'm ordering this laser that's a grid.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna shine it on the trees and do everything else like that. Yeah, there's the bridge. Yep.
All right.
It's creepy.
That's what's to
because
come
at
in.
night there's all. Yep.
I say that's what's to come for 2021 for you. So you let me know what you get and go check it out. Just be careful, Tyler.
I plan on being very careful.
Be legal too. Don't do anything that's illegal. Trying to do it, be safe. And see what you get. You don't know.
I'm not doing it alone.
No, don't do it alone. Don't do it alone. I don't want to find the Blair Witch Project kind of video left over from Tyler. This was what left on his phone, and we see you screaming like a girl running away and dropping your phone, and that's the last video footage we ever get of you.
Yeah, right. I've learned enough since this shows. You guys don't give yourself enough credit. You guys got an awesome show, so I'm so thankful.
Well, thank you for your support too, buddy, and you have a happy new year.
You too. I can't wait to see what happens this 2021. Even regardless of all the crap, at least we can come in here and have a good time.
Yep, exactly. All right, man. Have a great year, man.
See you later. Love you guys.
Bye, Tyler. All right, let's get on to the last category before we run out of time. So, last category, we're going to start off with this first one. This might be the winner here because this is pretty bad. This is another pretty, like I said, the weird people ones aren't pretty little happy stories. They're really gruesome usually. And this one definitely is very gruesome. From dailymail.co.uk, this was June 4th, 2020. California cannibal, 37, used an ice pick to murder his grandmother before his aunt found him eating the 90-year-old. So he ate his grandma. Police say they found Dwayne Wallach, 37, standing over his 90-year-old Ruby Wallach, actively pulling out her flesh with his hands after they were called to the Richmond home by the victim's daughter. Wallach has been charged with murder with an enhancement to include the use of an ice pick and a knife. He also faces mutilation charges. Ruby's daughter is said to have found her mom bleeding on the family floor and her nephew in the room covered in blood before calling the police. And when the police showed up, he's like literally ripping her flesh off and eating it. In a statement, police said officers entered the residence and found 37-year-old Dwayne Wallach stabbing the 9-year-old grandmother, Ruby Wallach. Dwayne was actively using his hands to assault the victim's neck and head. Yeah, so that's number one. Let's see. Wow. So straight out cannibalism. I mean, that might be a normal thing now. We just have so many people losing their mind. I don't know. I think it's
sounds like bath salts and just savage.
Okay. That's what that one is probably. So maybe that doesn't count. Then we have TikTok. Now I had a lot of themes on TikTok. We covered in the World Wide Web of Weird. A lot of stuff I think is hokey, probably not real footage, but this is not about footage. This is about the Moon Witch hex claim that circulated with these witches on TikTok. Remember this, Jamie? We talked about this. You had more info on this. You want to talk about the Moon Witches and their TikTok hexing?
It was just a bunch of crap to start a bunch of drama.
After Rising Promise,
to hex the moon to make it dimmer.
Right, and then there was like other witches on TikTok like fighting them to stop them from doing it.
The baby witches.
This was a story. Yeah, this was a story. The baby witches. Stop the baby witches on TikTok. So we got them. I'm not going to read that whole article because I don't want to run out of time. I think we all remember the baby witches on TikTok.
Like we did not weeks. The moon actually got brighter. Seriously. Okay. No, it did.
Okay. The baby witches made it brighter?
No, it just happened to be brighter because of the events, but
right.
You guys didn't hex shit. Excuse me.
Yeah, watch the language. But that's the world we live in. We had them hexing the moon. Yeah, so that's number 2. Keep that in mind. All right, and then with coronavirus and face masks, I've seen a lot of people wear a face mask, not wear a face mask. I wear a face mask. This guy took it a whole other step, and everybody knows my main animal phobia is snakes. And this guy really, all right, our snake face mask wearing guy. Yeah, this is during the whole wear of masks. This guy's wearing a snake. Go for it. That guy takes the cake for me over the cannibal, honestly. I just made it because my fear of phobia of snakes, but literally his protest of wearing a face mask is to take his pet python and wear it around his face. I guess that's what I was saying on Weird Wednesday was like, well, we're all having to wear face shields and face masks. Can I just wear a Mandalorian helmet? Would that be cool?
Why
I just want to walk around. I just want to walk around with a Mandalorian helmet, and when anybody asks me about it, I'd be like, this is the way.
If it covers your mouth and your nose, it should be all right.
This is the way.
I mean, we got the shields.
Why
Actually, I think he has to fear salmonella, probably putting that snake on his mouth right there.
Going blind.
I'd do that.
Oh God. Ugh. Ugh.
I used to have
All right. This last one, we're going to read the whole article because it's just hilarious. This is honestly my favorite. I'll admit this is probably what I think should win the vote for weirdest person of the year. My favorite article from the year, and I had to save it for the last story for the World Wide Web of Weird. Let me get a drink. I want to make sure I give this the great verbal prose it deserves.
But look at the facial expression.
Hold on. Yeah. That is the facial expression that just personifies all of us in 2020. This woman's face. This is all of us in 2020 waiting for this damn year to get over with. Massachusetts, this is from the New York Post. Massachusetts serial pooper. Been waiting years for World Wide Web Weird to have an article where I could say serial pooper. Massachusetts serial pooper busted for defecating in parking lot 8 times. This is January 23rd of this year. Oh, go away, ad. Okay. And then my article. Come on. No. My article's going.
Speaking of fetishes.
Yeah, speaking of fetishes, Massachusetts woman was busted for allegedly turning a store parking lot into her own personal potty, pooping there a staggering 8 times in roughly a month. Dubbed the parking lot pooper. Andrea Grosser, 51, of Eva Ashland, was allegedly caught dropping trout near Natick Outdoor Store on Wednesday morning, according to the Metro West Daily News.com. Police said they had been investigating since the fecal matter began showing up last month. Hold on, didn't I get an ad? Come on, man. At first, we thought it was an animal, but then they noticed toilet paper and other wipes, items animals would not have access to. I love that they put that. I think we understand that. Okay.
You mean the animals don't have access to like?
You mean you're telling me these animals aren't wiping their butts in the woods? What?
No way. I don't.
Craziness. This is what was said by police spokeswoman Lieutenant Carol Rossi. Yeah. Who said the first feces was found in early December. After staking out the site, a cop allegedly spotted Grosser letting her bowels loose on out of the door of her 2018 Lincoln MKX SUV just before 7 a.m. When confronted, she told officers she has irritable bowel syndrome and was on her way to her job as a nanny, so she's watching people's kids. A police report says. So she seriously, when one of those kids poops their pants, have the nerve to ridicule them?
Maybe she...
She was allegedly seen waiting some 10 minutes for a nearby train and other traffic to clear out before doing the deed. And the cop pointed out there were plenty of public restrooms nearby, the outlet reported. The officer called her employer and confirmed she could have just pooped at their house. The store owner, Henry Kaner, and so she got her employee. Imagine being this woman's watching your kids and you get a call from a cop about this. Hold on, I got to take a drink.
Thought your name.
I want to hear that phone call. Hello, I'm with the blah, 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 police department, and we're calling about Mrs. Grosser and her irritable bowel syndrome. And we were wondering, she said she couldn't use the bathroom at your house as a nanny. Oh, yeah, she could use the bathroom. Okay, we just wanted to make sure because she's been pooping in the parking lot 8 times now. For sure.
That phone call just went like, hey, do you realize you have this serial like pooper watching your kids?
Yes, ma'am. You had the serial pooper in your home this whole time, and you never knew. It's always the quiet ones. Pooper. Store owner Henry Kaner said he couldn't understand why she did it, but was flushed with excitement at her arrest. This store is like so excited they finally busted her. I'm so happy they arrested her, Kaner said. I have no idea who she is. This has been going on. She has defecated quite often here. There's nothing more disgusting coming into your parking lot in the morning and seeing a steaming pile of human excrement. Welcome to your job today. There's another human pile of poop in the parking lot. You know, the whole time this person was thinking, this got to be a homeless person. You feel guilty, like, oh, should we even mess with the homeless person pooping in the parking lot? And you come find out she drives a Lincoln. You know what I'm saying? She looks like this. At Grocer's arraignment Wednesday, her lawyer called her a pillar of the community who works full time. She was charged with wanton destruction of property and released without bail. She's due back out March 2nd. I wonder how that court case turned out. But her face, right? I picked this one for last, and maybe to influence you to vote for this one. But her face is to me the epitome of us at the end of 2020. Just like, get it over with. Oh. Yeah, this is the epitome of this is the face of 2020 right here. This woman's most pathetic face I've ever seen.
Or she could
zoom in on that.
She could just be holding one back right now.
Yeah, she might need to poop. That's that irritable bowel syndrome. Can give you that kind of face, I guess.
He's knocking at my back door like
got a tunnel poking out my boom. That right there. That is the face of 2020 right there. The serial pooper.
Yeah. You mentioned other Florida stories, and I can't remember exactly if it's from Florida. I think it was, but Jamie might remember. We did it on Weird Wednesday. It was the guy that was in a school like for 24 hours overnight that spread poop and cake all over.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It was cake frosting.
Cake frosting and
I remember
poop.
you guys covering that. Yeah. What a weird combo.
What a weird combo. Exactly.
Yeah. Wonder what the message there was.
I'm a psycho.
You can have your cake, but you eat the poop too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something, a message to the education. It was a school. I don't know.
Yeah.
So here's the votes. So we have so it's Cannibal, California. Well, don't forget our toe liquor. So it's toe liquor for Florida to beat out any of these stories. 90-year-old guy eats his 90-year-old grandmother. The TikTok witches who cursed the moon, or man with snake face mask, or our serial pooper here. I'm not trying to influence by keeping her picture up, but serial pooper there. Everybody knows where my vote is. So what do we got?
On the big screen.
Wow, that's a tough one.
My IBS is constipated. Just not to share. I shared too much. My face looks like that sometimes.
Yeah, I think we've all had those moments.
All right, people. What's the vote? We going with toe liquor from Florida, serial pooper. All right, we got a one for the serial pooper.
There's like 5
Trump's
emotions.
toes. Sorry, but pooper wins. One's first serial pooper, second toe sucker. Okay, so somebody beat out Florida. Guy eating his grandma. I'm guessing that's what that vote is.
That one,
trooper.
That one's pretty rough.
Again, that one's. Oh, hold on.
Drugs are bad.
That's what that one is.
That's what she said, Rod.
Yeah, I mean, if I was like being forced to go on a date with one or the other, I would take the parking lot pooper over the 90-year-old grandmother eater.
At least she goes out in the parking lot away from you and she has to do it.
Yeah,
he might at dinner like pull out. I could brought my own dinner and pull out grandma's like left hand or something.
Exactly. I brought my own barbecue. You want some?
Yeah.
Versus this girl where you're just driving down the road and she's like, "Hey, I got to pull in the parking lot over here for a minute." And
seeing it's a little more divided. I see her a lot for the serial pooper. I think is winning, but I'm seeing some for here for the grandma eater.
I'm still weirded out by the toe liquor.
I know people do get like the smearing poop fetish thing because my wife worked at a gas station for years and there'd be people that come in and like smear poop on the walls. I'm like, what are you, monkeys? I mean, geez.
I know. Yeah. Got some poop stories that have gone on.
I know people that work in nursing homes have had nursing home patients throw their poop at them. That's just sad. And prison and people working in prisons, definitely prisoners have done it.
Oh yeah.
My friend's neighbor used to take her diapers off and smear them.
I'd make what the heck, Don? That's pretty dark. I'd make the 9-year-old grandma eat the poop. What the heck is that? These comments go up for posterity, Don. I don't know what that was about.
Eat the poop.
I have to say that I think the serial pooper won out. Toe liquor is good from Florida. I don't know. That's pretty bad. I don't know, but I have to say that face steals the show for serial pooper.
Yeah,
the face of 2020.
I would maybe bet that she's pooping right while she was making that face. Maybe.
Just remember, this woman's had a way worse year than all of us. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
way worse year than all of us.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. 2020 sucked, but hey, it could be a lot
She
worse.
got to be known as a serial pooper.
Yeah.
I almost think you should take it down. It's almost too much to have her face still up there. I think we should take that down. It's just too much. It's too pathetic. But that's it for the best of weird of World Wide Web of Weird. Man, I get a frog in my throat tonight. But enjoyed the stories with the phone calls tonight. Now, Jamie, Rob, did you have what was your weirdest moments of 2020? You got any other weird moments?
Oh man.
Just 2020.
Mine blend in. Like I was gonna.
Come on, you're an Uber driver. You gotta have some.
Oh, jeez. That's a whole nother show right in itself, right there.
Right?
Yeah. No, not that it happened to me, but I was gonna share it on Weird Wednesday, and I think I forgot to. But it was kind of cool, like we were talking about Billy Corgan. And
yeah,
I got a friend of mine. His dad drives like tour buses for people, for bands and stuff. And we went out to dinner one night, and his dad was like, "Yeah, I was driving, and I had the bus, and I pulled up, and this like big, tall, bald-headed guy wearing a trench coat, like just walks up and he's standing in front of the bus, and I'm like, who the hell is this idiot, And it turns out it was Billy Corgan. That's who he was driving." He was like getting ready to run the guy over because he was creeping him out, just standing there.
Well, look at Billy Corgan. If like you ran into him in a dark alley, you think you ran into Nosferatu.
Yeah.
He made himself look there for a while.
Yeah, he said he was creeping him out, just standing there staring at him. And then there's the other story I was going to share was on Weird Wednesday, and I think I forgot to. I may have done it, but I can't remember. But it was the Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters. Their new album that they recorded. They rented.
Oh yeah,
they rented a house, and
I heard about this.
All kind of weird stuff. They'd come in and stuff was moved around, and stuff on the mixing board was all changed. And after a while, they figured they were recording in a haunted house, and they pretty much wrapped the album up and got the hell out of there.
That's a way to motivate a band. Make them feel like yeah, that's some rock legend. I mean, look at Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Houses of the Holy, and then Aleister Crowley's house.
Yeah.
There's the rock history, man.
Yep.
Haunted houses and recording studios. There's a lot to it.
There is.
I always like the celebrity ghost stories, because you get some history and some of this stuff. These, like, especially when they had some of the, I think there's a couple of them with some rock stars and haunted locations trying to record albums.
Yeah.
What was that one Ghost Adventures where they're in like LA or Hollywood, and they went down to one of those clubs, and I can't remember which rock star you saw was be there, but they had a bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah. I was at the Viper Club.
Maybe? Yeah.
Well, I mean, Viper Club's got a real bad history.
Yeah.
Real bad history. I mean, River Phoenix and I mean, who knows? Johnny Depp's doing adrenochrome in the back room. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know. Not that I know he is or anything. No.
Yeah.
Just seems like a bad mojo there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad for 2020 to be ending. I don't think anything's drastically going to get better the moment the clock clicks over to 2021.
No.
Like jumping over a borderline, like, woo, we made
All it means is we'll have to stop going, damn 2020.
It's just
now Me too, 2021. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Maybe things do get better.
I got a feeling it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fast tracking.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of hope, but to be honest,
I'm keeping my faith that something happens.
we need a miracle.
And when going back in time to earlier in the show when you were talking about Baba Ganoush, whatever her name was,
Baba Vagna,
when she made the prediction of 2021 having a president suffer a
illness, Biden.
Well, yeah,
like a given.
You mentioned Trump, but yeah, if Biden gets in there, he's gonna suffer some sort of medical.
I think he already is.
Well, yeah,
he's gonna come out with it.
Officially,
it's a joke.
Yeah,
I hate them all. Just so everybody knows, clarifies. I hate all of them. Democrat, Republican, all of them. You can throw them all out. They can take their $600 and shove it up there. You know what? That's how I feel about our government.
Yeah, I'm not too happy with them either.
And if you think your government's going to save you in 2021, sorry.
No sleeping with the enemies, baby.
Is yourself.
Nope. Only thing that can save us is us caring for our other fellow man and women.
And not fighting with each other. Like, look at what's going on around us and don't get so wrapped up in the little things. Like, we're all trying to make it.
Yeah, put yourself in somebody else's shoes.
And stuff, but don't fight with each other. That's not the problem.
Well, that's what I say. I think the best piece of philosophical advice I've ever read was by Thich Nhat Hanh, who wrote, excuse me, I got such a frog in my throat, who wrote the book Pieces, a really small book, Pieces Every Step. Really good book, highly recommend. Read it many years ago, but I think this, in the simplest terms, the golden rule is if you want peace, then you have to make the steps for it. You can't depend on others to do it. You can't expect everybody to do it. All you can do is what you can do. You can only control what you control. You can only feel how you choose to feel. You can only control what you can control. You can't change how other people feel. You can't change how other people are going to act. You can only do what you can do. And if you want peace, then you need to take the actions for peace. That means every step you take should be towards peace. Ask yourself, is this choice, going to lead to more peace, or is it going to lead to more chaos? What you can do to help others. Think of your fellow man and put yourself in other people's shoes. And life's too short. That's what I think all this should teach us is life's too short. You never know when that ride's going to end.
Exactly.
So love the ones around you, take care of those, and try to open your mind to new experiences and new people. That's what this show's about, is new experiences and new people. I always love it when I have a new caller into the show, or I see new people in chat, and it means a lot to me because I made the show to reach out and connect with others when I couldn't before COVID, just being locked down in my life. And the one beauty of technology is being able to do this and talk to all you guys and be able to do this show. And I want to say thank you to everybody over these 5 years who's supported the show by sharing it, telling their friends, calling in, watching every Sunday, comment, being such a great chat room that everybody is on Facebook and YouTube. You guys are always so welcoming to new people joining the chat room. I love it. I love how supportive you are of each other. It means a lot to me. That's the most thing I'm proud of is my audience and the chat room. I definitely number one most thing, doing the show for 5 years and I never thought I'd have that much, or I was afraid of trolls in the chat room and having the problems I've seen other shows have. I not really had that problem too much. I've had awesome chat room. You guys are amazing. And again, thank you to everybody who shares the show. Keep sharing the show. That's the only way I get a bigger audience. It's the only way this show grows is keep sharing the show. It's also share it with people you think would be great guests. Let them know, hey, you should, check out Jason Bland's Paranormal Soup, be a guest on his show. If you know somebody, let them know. But thank you to everybody for your support, and thank you to the Patreons. Definitely thank you to the Patreons. We've got like 13, 14 of them, $2 a month. That helps pay part of the bills of the year that come up. Pretty much right before Christmas, I get all the bills for this show that come up. You help pay it, though, so thank you to my Patrons. And if you want, just look us up on Paranormal Soup on Patreon or Jason Bland. You should find it. $2 a month helps go pay the bills for the show. Well, that's it. We will be back next Sunday with guest John Steidman. He, if I Steedman, maybe I pronounce that right, author of, get this title, it's a long title, but this is like hook me. I'm like, you got to be on the show. Aliens, Robots, and Virtual Reality Idols in the Science Fiction of H.P. Lovecraft Isaac Asimov, and William Gibson. I'm a sci-fi freak, so you're going to have to bear with me next Sunday. Tune in. It will be interesting. He's had some of his own paranormal experiences, too, he wants to talk about that's influenced him. But we're going to talk about all the aspects of future robotics, aliens, virtual reality, where it's leading us, and how it's seen in science fiction ahead of its time by those three major writers in science fiction. All right, guys, everybody have a great night. See you next year, 2021, guys. Have a happy new year.